dura. Mira cómo brilla tu piel, todo duro. Na, 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 todo duro. ¡Holi! Johnny, Aldo. Sí, lo pude arreglar. Hola Andrés, ya se supone que ya debe ir todo bien. Espero que sí. Mándame un audio. Karma, ¿por qué no estás suscrito? ¿Qué te pasa? Yo flipo. Vale, vamos a jugar unas ranks. Y vamos a ir a ver a Karma jugar. Que hoy juega la Masters. Y pues eso. No tienes nada que te den. Así es el Karma, así es. En fin. ¡Hola! Unskillet, un saludo Ceba. ¿Cómo estás? Vale, ¡no! ¡No puede ser! Se acabó el pase de batalla y no lo completé. ¡No puede ser! Hola, Roque. ¡Ay, qué pena! Me quedé como a 3 niveles. Pensaba que acaba hoy. De verdad que las cosas que no me pasan a mí no les pasa a nadie. De verdad, qué desastre. Marca bíceps. No escuchamos el juego. Vale, ya sé qué está pasando. Un segundito. Mami, no lo diga. Ya, ¿verdad? Ya sí lo escucháis. No, si he mandado noti. No tienes zetas, no, lo siento. Es que de verdad, yo flipo con vosotros. Ahora sí, vale. Fue un error de Activision. El pase tenía que salir hoy a las 7. Ah, o sea, que no fue cosa mía. Hola, Dani, un saludo. Ay, de verdad. Es que, ¿veis por qué nunca me compro el pase? Porque nunca lo completo. Pero no me ha leído. Soy simple la sensible. Hombre, gracias. Hola, Feri. Hola, Balut, ¿cómo estás? Ay, Balut, ¿por qué? En plan... Esto me extraña mucho. No pude comprar el pase. Yo no lo pude completar. Solo lo dije porque Karma lo dijo. Sí. Me quieres, obvio. Venga, vale, pues... ¿qué voy a hacer? Si es que es lo que hay, gente. La vida es así. ¿Cuál es la arma que hay hoy? Bueno, que hay hoy no, sino que hay en el pase. CR... Ah, esta arma es nueva, torpedo. Anda, que también vaya nombre, torpedo, Vaya nombre. Hola, Ceri. Muy bien, ¿tú qué tal? Vale, pues a ver, le vamos a dar una rank. Pues... Porque... Ay, no. No quiero, Karma, gracias. Muchísimas gracias, un saludito. Ay, creo que aquí tenía una clase de HG. A ver. Sí, mira, vamos a probar la HG. A ver tu cola. Yo lo clasifiqué y pues aquí ando. Bueno, por lo menos te dieron la skin, ¿no? ¿Juegas cargando el celular? Suelo jugar cargando el celular porque como estoy en directo y estoy muchas horas jugando, se me queda sin batería rápido. Hola, Juan Daniel. Espero que estés bien. Yo bien, me alegro mucho, Ceri. Gracias, Kais, por el follow. Hola, Miguel. Hola, Joaquín, Ramón. ¿Cómo estáis? Bienvenidos a todos. Enamorada de ese culo, Dios la bendiga. Tráete a tu amiga. Dura. ¡Sí, es verdad! Vaya, han quedado 3-5. O sea, partidaza, los últimos 10 minutos. No sé si alguien ha visto la Eurocopa, gente, pero... Oh my god. Le toca a ella. ¡Pari, una botella! Muchísimas gracias, Karma, por renovar la suscripción. Sé que te ha costado, sé que te ha costado. Pero muchas gracias. Hola, saludos. Hola, saludos. Sí, tengo que probar la AGR. El problema es que, bueno, pues todavía no... ¿Qué me pasa? ¿Qué me pasa? ¿Qué me pasa? Estoy un poquito Botticelli, ¿no? ¿O qué? Estoy un poquitín Botticelli. Tío, qué pesado, porque hay uno ahí. Me están poniendo nerviosa. Mira, me voy por otro lado, ¿vale? Si no quieren que vaya por ahí. ¿Y en qué momento han capturado? Ay, estoy súper bot, de verdad. Hace unos días que no juego, La historia de mi vida, también te digo. Vale, venga. Entramos, capturamos. Ahí está. ¡No! ¡Me viene uno por detrás! Mi niño, dice. ¿Qué opinas de los nerfeos y los bufeos nuevos? Tengo que probarlos todavía. Reconozco que no los he probado todavía. ¿Se nota mucho el nerf de la Bison y eso, gente? La cheja no va mal, Siempre me descargo solo esto para verte directa. Hola, Oliver, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido. Y ahora todo cambio. Le toca a ella. Pari, una botella. Gracias al maltrato se puso bella. Vale, por aquí hay gente. Lo. Hands up team. Enemy UAV spotted. Voy a echar esto. De verdad, hola, gracias. Jo, hijo, te ha costado, Dura. Tú estás dura, mano arriba, porque tú te ves bien. Estás dura, mamacita, te fuiste de nivel. Dura. Uy, hay dos en B. Vale, hay uno por ahí arriba. Escucho un sniper. ¿Cómo va la Bison? Todavía no la he probado, Todavía no la he probado, pero ahora mismo... ¿Qué haces aquí, bro? ¿Qué haces aquí? Pero ahora la voy a probar. ¡Ah! Quería lanzar los picos. ¡Hola, Pepe! ¡Pero bueno! ¡Hola, Zane! ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué opinas de...? Ah, pues eso digo. La HG no mata sus 40 balas a un bot y no muere. Bueno, vamos a comprobarlo. Joder, darle una oportunidad. La verdad es que, a ver, le cuesta un poquito, ¿no? Pero eso no quiere decir que no se pueda usar tampoco. La Holger está muy rota. Por fin estoy aquí. Estoy mucho tiempo, te comienzo, me acuerdo. ¡Hola! Pues me alegro mucho que estés aquí de nuevo. Bienvenido. La verdad es que le cuesta matar. Vamos a probar ahora la Bison, que quiero ver cómo está. ¡Ah! ¡No! No me habrá contado, ¿no? No me habrá contado el Predator. Mira, como haya perdido el Uy. Menos mal. ¡Hola, Fer! Menos mal. Microinfarto que me ha dado. Dura. Y ahora todo cambio. Le toca a ella. ¿Dónde está la gentecilla? Aquí está. Oye, ¿la DRH qué tal está? La DRH antes la usaba todo el mundo, ¿Qué ha sido de ella? Dime, Karma. ¿Cuánto tiempo? ¿Cómo estás? Hombre, Just for Love, ¿cómo estás? Sí, mucho tiempo. ¿Todo bien? ¡Ojito! ¿Pero quién soy? ¿Yo matando con un Predator? Pero, yo tengo fiebre o algo, os lo digo de verdad. Yo estoy hoy con fiebre o algo, gente. Porque vamos, esto no es ni medio normal. Vale, pues la HG sigue sin convencerme, gente. Es que no sé. Gracias, Ramo, por las rositas. ¿Viste Extraña versus Croacia? Sí, vi el final. Vi la segunda parte, vi. La verdad es que fue una locurita, locurita. ¡Me encantan los picos! Oye, que aquí hay un tío. Yo estoy flipando. La de RH aún mata, pero la animación de recargas molesta. Oye, ¿cómo puedo saber quién está conduciendo la cosa esa fea, tío? Hostias, necesita más balas, necesita más balas. Se nota, se nota, se nota. Bueno, no sé, a lo mejor es cosa mía, Yo siento como que se necesitan más balas. No. ¿La espalda? ¡Hola! Edu. Eduardito, te iba a decir. Edu. O Eduardito también. Es que el Carmen y yo te llamamos Eduardito. Se me ha vuelto un poquillo loco ahí el giroscopio, ¿no? Okay. No va mal tampoco, ¿qué quieres que te diga? Dura. ¿La SM10 es el nuevo top meta? No creo, ¿no? Yo es que no soy muy de SM10, gente, no sé por qué. Yo creo que es cosa mía, tío, pero... Yo no soy mucho de SM10. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Ah, aquí está. Madre mía, nunca un Predator mío había sido tan efectivo, te lo digo. Asistencia de captura, dice. Nada nuevo. Hola, Adri. Hola, Adri. ¿Cómo hay? Bienvenida. No te olvides usar la GR. Sí, la tengo que mejorar. Todavía la GR. La Bison parece ir igual. La SM10 está bien. ¿La QXR ya no es meta? Yo creo que sí que sigue siendo meta. Lo que pasa es que la han bajado un poco. Tengo que probarla. Es que, gente, de verdad, en plan... Todavía no puedo ayudaros porque, literal, es mi primera partida en una semana. Bueno, no, en una semana no, en 2 días, 3 días. No sé, pero estoy muy bot. Hola, de Mike, un saludo. Susi juega mejor con un arma nerfeada. Puede ser. No te digo que no, Juan, no te digo que no. Hola, Ismael, bienvenido. Gracias por tu follow. Oye, ¿ha empezado ya la Masters o qué? Tráete a tus amigas. Bueno, todavía no ha empezado. Hola, Ángel, ¿qué tal? La QXR sí la nerfearon mucho. O sea, la Holgier... ¿Cuál sería el nuevo meta? Tengo que verlo. Hola, Luis Isaac, ¿qué tal? A ver, no creo que esté tan mal, ¿no? Y ahora todo cambió. Le toca a ella. Tío, hola. Vaya snipazo me ha pegado ese. Gracias, Ron. Muchas gracias por el Leon Line, Ron. Muchas gracias. ¡Ah, mierda! ¿Qué ha abierto esa cosa? Bro, tío. En plan, muy random.
Grenade out. Get down, sniper.
El sniper está por ahí.
Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint is ours. Recon standing by. Recon is standing by.
Wrong way for el hype.
C is ready.
No es rentable usarla. La XR.
Online. We tied for the lead.
Tío, ¿por qué me revienta? Yo creo que es por tema de ping, ¿no? En plan, me mata muy rápido.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down. Friendly shock RC is coming. Enemy shock RC is coming. UAV online.
Hostia, una balita.
Hardpoint contested. UAV online.
No sé ni por dónde ir, bro. Tío, ¿por qué se cambia el respawn así de esta manera? En plan, ¿no estás viendo que estoy aquí? Es que no tiene sentido lo de los respawns, te lo digo.
Hardpoint contested.
Enemy down. Enemy shot down.
UAV recon ready for deployment. Friendly shock RC is ready. Hardpoint lost.
No, tía, no ha sentido. ¡Hola, Gameza!
Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint identified.
Entonces, gente, ¿vosotros habéis probado qué tal está el meta? ¿Qué armas os gustan más, gente?
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint.
Target down. Enemy down. Reloading.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested.
Tío, ¿y por qué salen tanto? Están saliendo mucho.
UAV online. Hardpoint contested.
¿Qué es uno mejor? ¿Susi o Susanita? Susi, no, a mí me gusta más Susi.
Hardpoint is ours. Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint locked
Trate
down.
a tus amigas.
Enemy down.
Venga, bro.
Standing by. Repeat,
Casi.
UAV
Casi,
recon
bro.
is standing by. Hardpoint contested. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint is ours. Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. UAV online.
Tango.
Hardpoint locked down.
Reloading. Cover.
Hardpoint identified. Predator missile awaiting orders.
No, mierda. No tenía que haberme metido. Oye, la Bison sigue yendo muy bien, ¿eh? A mí me gusta bastante.
Contact with enemy. Tango down. Target down.
Enemy shock RC
A
is
mí
coming.
personalmente en la vida me parece que va muy bien.
Hardpoint locked down.
Es verdad, ¿cómo se consigue la racha del perro? De verdad, estoy muy perdida.
Friendly Predator missile inbound.
Ahora todo cambio. Le toca a ella.
UAV online.
Parillo una botella.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Our UAV has been destroyed. Hardpoint is ours.
Enemy down. Enemy contact.
Pensaba que estaba muerto ese, ¿eh? Qué rabia me da cuando eso me pasa, tío. Cuando empiezas a disparar a alguien y no le matas. Qué rabia me da. Uf, me leyeron ahí bien, ¿eh? Lo que iba a hacer.
Friendly shock RC is coming. Hardpoint contested.
¿Qué haces este ahí?
Hardpoint contested.
¿Qué haces este ahí?
Hardpoint lost.
Pero bueno.
UAV online. Hardpoint locked down.
Pero bueno. Me la como, me la como.
Hardpoint contested. Objective almost complete. Keep it up.
Eso está a una bala.
Recon ready for
Eso está
deployment.
a una balita de nada.
UAV online. Friendly
Ahí
shock
está.
RC is ready.
Enemy down.
Friendly shock RC is coming. Our UAV has been destroyed. destroyed.
Pues GG. Pues GG. Va bien, va. Me gusta cómo va, ¿eh? Hola, Fernando. Ya empezó la Master. Vale, pues ahora lo ponemos. ¿Queréis que veamos la Master? Sí, porque juega Kings. En plan, estamina. Vale. Ah, pero creo que ya han jugado una partida. No me había dado cuenta, tío. Sí, vamos a ver la Master. Vamos a ver la Master.
I feel like I would be scared if I were other teams. They know this map at the back of their hand. They know every rotation. All the gunfights were perfect. And a while ago, I thought of that money hill in P4 that they were going to lose a lot of points because they weren't really defending that statue side. But then you know what? I was wrong. They were able to actually infiltrate. Even Grandma having a harder time to actually have that infiltration. It's a really amazing feat for them to actually pursue.
Yeah, again, this play right here from Bull really impressed me, and it really kind of set the tone in my mind as far as stamina not wanting to give away any time as much as possible. I mean, small maps 5v5, if you're coming from the normal traditional Cold War scene right now, obviously we see this map but not on hardpoint, but this map is still going to feel really small at 10 total players. So I love the call from Stamina to continue to put one player to just finesse the time. Here
¡Aquí estamos!
The only player for Stamina who could potentially infiltrate this light scrap time.
Jo, flipas, es que esta gente juega súper bien. Uy, la Bizom no parece que la hayan nerfeado mucho, también te lo digo,
The entire hit for Tragic completely shut
Se ve
down.
todo bien, ¿verdad?
I still go back to what I was saying at the very beginning, Mommy. Maybe you feel a little bit differently, but I really do like what Tragic were trying to do when it came to what timing
Mis
they wanted
oídos,
to rotate
¿se escucha muy
between
mal?
scrap and
¿Se
initial,
escucha
and
mucho?
more importantly, how they were trying to play for the spawns. It just came down to a couple of really heroic plays for Stamina to hold off those really good preset plays from Tragic.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And you know what, with
Ahí
Tragic
mejor,
and
¿no?
Stamina going in here, it's very, very close.
Se ve bien, vale, perfecto. ¿Queréis
You
ver
may be
esto
XOXO, but no. These
o
top
queréis
fraggers,
que
Tragic
juegue?
and Stamina, you can already tell
Vemos
that
esto,
they
¿no?
have different playstyles, but at the same time,
A
they
ver,
actually
que
work. So
tengo
I'm
aquí
not
un
quite sure
vídeo.
who is actually going to win here in Search and Destroy, knowing how well both of these teams are, especially here in S&D. Every team that they've come across here so far, it has been probably a 6-0 and also a 6-2. It's going to be very amazing here, especially at a map like Takeoff.
Yeah, the only thing I could really take away
Quiero verte
as we
mientras
look
ves
at Tragic, who now need to find a response here in this map.
No te veo casi.
They did have to go round 11
Enseña
versus
tu Watts.
Billion. That granted was
No.
on firing range, but we have not seen either of these two teams
No,
in
claro
this
que no.
Mobile Masters play Takeoff yet. So be really interesting. Of course, when it comes to Stamina, you're looking to see if they can really respond to the pressure that you're likely going to see from Jim and Hisaka just when it comes to these sniper rifles. They were so good.
Mejor quita la facecam, ¿no? De verdad, ni te ves. ¿Cómo que no?
But for the offense and Stamina, they're taking their time
Un
here.
poco más grande, hombre, para que me veáis bien.
No action.
¿No se me ve? ¿Sí, no? Hola, hola, ¿cuántos dedos
Exactly.
tengo?
You can already see here that probably Jim will be the playmaker for his team for Tragic right now. Grizz as well might be able to actually get a frag.
Ponte más grande, ahí estoy, ¿no?
Goal is going to be the one that's going to be giving that information with his sniper.
Ahora
so
sí.
far, so good for both of these teams. All five
Tienes como
members are
27
still
mensajes
alive.
no leídos.
Very, very passive.
Pero ¿y qué más da
which is
eso,
really
aunque
great because at a map like this, you don't
tienes
want to
5
be
dedos?
very, you know, you
Casi
don't want to
cray,
be too
casi.
aggressive, especially knowing that these angles
Creo que solo está leyendo
might
los de la
really just take
plataforma
you out.
verde. No,
For a
hombre,
while
también te
there, I
leo a
actually
ti,
thought
Johnny.
Bull was going to be able to take Jim, but no. Jim actually knows that someone is going to be looking through up in that second floor.
Gracias,
and
Mateo, por
really
las
just get him.
rositas.
So right now it's really just having that opening frag.
¿Cuánto van? No entiendo. Tragic 2-0, Stamina 2-0. O sea, ¿va ganando Tragic? No, no. No entiendo. No quites la facecam. Tío, es que te lo juro, Jim con el sniper es una locura, tío. F por nosotros, ¿no, Frankie? Que os lea a todo el mundo, tranquilos. Que estaba configurándolo. ¿Alguien sabe cómo van en el general, gente? Ah, va ganando Stamina 1-0. Ah, amigo. Vale, venga. Yo quiero que gane Stamina, gente. ¿Vosotros quién queréis que gane? El 2-0 son Scream. Ah, vale.
Denza gets the first kill.
Ah, es verdad, si lo pone aquí, joder, es que estoy ciega, de verdad, soy tonta. Gracias, Tavo. Es que estaba fijándome en vez de en el 0-1, me estaba fijando aquí, en esto. Se saluda a Caos. ¡Ah, Caos! ¡Hola! ¿Cómo estás, guapa? Y suele pasar. Bueno, también el grid con las escopetas que es, vamos. ¿Quién es el sniper de Tragic? O sea, de estamina. El Narf, ¿no? Él es el sniper. Qué buena y el infierno. Le falló el tiro con la escopeta. Menos mal. No, Caos, lo siento, guapa. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Qué tal estás? ¿Qué tal todo? Gracias, Fer, por los manas. O sea, Tragic tiene dos snipers. Tiene a Hisoka y a Jim. Bien, yo muy bien, yo muy bien.
Denza comes through in a major way. First blood in the round, cleans up the final 2 kills. Unbelievable stuff from him.
Vale, mira, necesitan espabilar, ¿eh?
4-in-1 for Denza. Saka yet to fall at 4-0.
Hola, Fafi Saurio.
Those two individually, I think you could
Facebook no me notifica tus streams y ya activa el Notify. Pues eso me parece un poco raro, ¿eh? ¿Lo has comprobado que tienes el Notify? Ya me voy, que pases bien y suerte en el stream. Muchas gracias, Jenny, pasa buen día. Hola, Steve, ¿qué tal? Jo, te lo juro que para esta gente parece que no les nerfean las armas, ¿eh? Uy, ahí el Denza se lo hizo muy bien, en plan, pusieron muy bien. ¿Cuándo regresas al competitivo? Uf, ojalá cuando tenga más tiempo, porque a mí competitivo me gusta mucho y cuando sea un poco más buena. Aquí estás bien, Ruestox. ¿Cuál plataforma verde? Trovo. Sí, desde el primer día que te encontré la activé y nunca me notifica. Pues es muy raro. Muy raro. Ellos ocupan nerf, no las armas. Gracias a ti por el live. Muchas gracias, Héctor, por el bravo. Muchas gracias. Tío, me duele la nariz con las gafas. Uy, casi le dan en todo el pie. Casi le dan todo el pie. Léeme arriba. Eso sí, no le hagas cambios a tu Bizum como cambiar el monolítico. ¿Por qué, Juan Daniel? ¿Por qué? En nuestro server no nerfean nada hasta acabar el torneo. Amigo. ¿Ya te has visualizado? Sí.
Just barely able to connect. It's very rare that you'll see to miss the opening 2 shots in that exchange, as you thought for a second it was just going to be
amigo. Gracias, Vegeta, por la rosita. ¿Y vosotros habéis visto Elite? Jo, 3-1,
So Tragic. Nice start here defensively for them. 3-1.
¿Contra quién juegan? Juega Karma y Turu contra Felion.
Averaging win, you know, they're 2-0, but their average game is 6-4. After the round 11, they had a 6-3 win versus Zenshu on standoff. And on the opposite side, for Stamina, they've been great in search and destroy, but their offense is having a little bit of difficulty getting through, mostly just 10
claro, el problema... Ah, vale. Creo que ¿qué tengo que hacer para hacer tu mod? Está activo ya, porque tan perfecta. Gracias, Mark. Qué buena, el Denza este está jugando muy bien, ¿eh? Madre mía.
Denza being the playmaker for his team, always getting that opening frags, always getting important kills with 9 frags to their name. You can see here, he is the top fragger for all of these boys right now, and it's going to be difficult actually, especially knowing that Sav only has 1 kill with Toby.
¿Quién dice que gana Karma?
And they didn't even have the bomb in the first place. It's their first time being
¿Está jugando Karma?
So they are going to be dictating the rhythm of the game. And
gracias,
right
Vegeta, por la rosita.
For that full push here through B. They're going to be clearing it out first though.
so much damage from Denza. Nearly gets a double.
¿Cuál es el equipo de Turu? Nova. Hola, Willy Willy. Muchas gracias, Vegeto, por las rositas. Gracias, Pavel, por las manas. Muchas gracias, Vegeto, por el hype.
Once more, we see this a couple of times, Mommy. We've got the defense on the offensive side and the offense on the defensive side. It's just been nothing but sheer aggression from both of these squads.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that
Se lo damos en plan de acá. ¿Qué tal, Billy? ¿Qué estás viendo? Estamos viendo la Masters, que es un torneo de $50.000 de premio que ha organizado COD Mobile. Esta es la semana 3.
I think Tragic know that the bomb is actually down here. Stamina have to recover. The bomb was dropped as it looked like there was going to be an early plan over towards A. So this is a
La Master DNA está buena porque juega 3 contra... Ay, ¿a qué hora juegan, Mateo? ¿En cuántas horas juegan? Muchas gracias, Vegete, por la rosita.
And they've cleared out the entirety of this A site. I mean, for Stamina, they're still kind of caught into a corner, and granted there's plenty of time left, but the bomb does get recovered here for Tragic, and they're going to flip this right back over towards B, so this is decent stuff coming through, and once more the Rockets finding kills. This is a 2v4 now turned into a 2v2, and Denza can plant at B.
SMRS doing so much damage in this competition so far. I don't think I've ever seen SMRS anywhere else but here, and it's amazing to actually see that precision and damage really go through. But I feel like Grizz kind of just lost it for Stamina, to be honest. I feel like he shouldn't have pushed that far. He was supposed to be a playmaker for his
que
team.
se la desplantan, ¿eh?
Oh, Narc's able to find the kill on the shift. For a second, it was going to be Gold.
Qué buena el Denza, está jugando súper bien, ¿eh? Está jugando súper bien. En 4 horas casi, siempre es cuando acaba la Master de EU. La gente en el chat diciendo Denza, Denza, Denza.
What a performance from him, and Tragic go 5-1, but Narcs comes out with first blood right over the cross. Inferno gets another, and this is much better.
Flipas con la as, ¿vale? ¿Qué creéis? ¿Que remontan o no? Uy, el Hisoka.
Absolutely not bad. Hisoka is going to be the only one left for his team. Doable, maybe a little bit, but no, as Narcs is
Gracias, Vegeta, por las rositas.
5-2. It's gonna be very hard right now. It is match point, so one more point right now for Tragic, and they will win Search and Destroy.
¿Se remonta o no, gente? ¿Qué creéis?
Right?
Yo igual juego con Mobile. ¿Qué se necesita entrar para...? Es por invitación, es a los mejores equipos, en este caso de Europa, de Norteamérica y ya. ¿Con el Turu en persona? No, al Turu no le conozco en persona.
Once more, same route he hit last round. Right up top, clears off the high ground, and now Ghoul says, this looks like fun, let me get involved. Able to find another elimination. Jin gonna find Toby, but misses the shot.
Hace un poco raro eso, ¿no? Como que...
You saw him look at him for a moment, gonna get a second chance, but Toby will punish. And Stamina's defense...
Hola, Gregory. Sí, lo están haciendo de agua, Pero parece que van a remontar. Iban 5-1, van 5-2 ya, van 5-2.
All you need is one more point. And you know what, with Jim a while ago, honestly, I resonate with that because I used to snipe a lot in Call of Duty Mobile, and there's a lot of times where you just mispress that button, especially knowing how sweaty and intense can it be. And he missed it twice. He wasn't able to actually shoot for 2 times in a row. So right now, again, another aggressive push here through mid.
¿Cuál es vuestro equipo favorito, gente? Bueno, es que nosotros, o sea, yo no sé si veis el competitivo de Europa. Ah, vale. Qué raro, digo, el Gris fallando tanto. ¿A qué hora juega Nova? En media hora. En media hora, Pavel. Eso sí, me terminas de cría. Van 1-1 en el marcador. Qué alucinante juegan, ya ves.
Oh, and we already know that they were going to do so well.
Pues siempre está esta chica, ¿no? Castellando. Donde juego tú eres mi equipo favorito, por ahí conocí más del competitivo. Qué guay.
The timing that he actually had was also really nice, and even though that Inferno really had that patience in him, you really just can't have one player do really well. And for their team, Hisoka as well for Tragic did so well to really just go for that assist, especially when Denzel was popping off.
It really was just the two of them in the opening that really kind of carried the team defensively through a handful of rounds. I mean, for Tragic, you were happy.
Hola, ya encontré la plataforma verde. Hola, soy un gato. Muchas gracias por tu follow. Bienvenido.
And Asaka show up until he started to get to the offensive side, and then it was just the Denza show. They're not going to be finished with 15 total kills, and it just felt like whenever he was in a 1v multiple situation, he was more than comfortable.
Ah, vale, genial, Ramón.
So great stuff through and through, and that's a response that I think.
Te falta el azul y la naranja. ¿Qué ha pasado? Ay, no. ¿Escucháis algo? No, ¿verdad? Ya me están fallando los puertos del ordenador. No estaréis escuchando nada seguro, ¿no? Tu internet no, el PC, tío. Que los puertos delante no funcionan o no sé. Y no me funciona esta mierda. Y esto ahora porque no funciona. Sí, los puertos es que nunca han dejado de fallar. ¿Por qué no funciona esta mierda ahora? A ver. No escucho nada, tío. No escucho nada. Ahora, vale, y ahora lo cambio aquí en el OBS. Vale, ya está. Perdón, gente, fallo técnico. Ya está. No te preocupes, las desgracias nunca fallan. Nada nuevo, nada nuevo. No se escucha, sí, perdón, gente, ya está. Tío, la gente es muy pesada pensando que está jugando Fer. En plan de... no sé quién es Fer, Jim es Fer, tal cual es Fer, ¿sabes? En plan, en cuanto ven a alguien jugando un poco bien... Ay, peínate, vale, perdón. En cuanto ven a alguien jugando un poco bien, dicen tipo, ah, es Fer, es Fer. Cuando vean a Karma jugar, pues no dirán que es Fer, porque Karma es un cono. Pero...
Everyone very excited, of course, about some of the balance changes that had come through, but
Tienes
at least
pelitos,
for now, focusing on the esports, we're very excited to see what will happen as we lead closer and closer towards the COD Mobile Championships this year. I mean, the ones from last year were absolutely out of this world,
Hola,
so
Jeep,
very excited to see how that one all ensues, and with a little bit of extra style from what we've gotten so far in this season. For it's been really fun, Aliana.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially knowing that we didn't get to have a championship last year. I'm really excited to see what all these countries really have to offer. But you know what? With this in mind, I want to see the maps that are going to be coming through here for our next matchup. Especially now that we are going into this domination round in firing range. And now Shift. We all love firing range across all of the Call of Duties, and especially for mobile. All of these players, all these teams seem to really favor this map.
And this was the very famed Maven listen-in from COD Champs from a couple of years ago, where it just sounded like chaos. It was on this map mode combination, but here's the good news. If you're a Tragic fan, you just came off of a very dominating win last week on this map, 150-67 versus Zenshi. Where on the other front, yes, Stamina is 2-0 in domination, but both of them, they played on Hack DR, and both were relatively close, 150-113 and 150-109. So I kind of, again, tilt the focus now over to Stamina to have to respond what I have to figure would be a Tragic map mode combination selection. So we'll see how things unfold. Of course, the big kind of curiousness is who can take over this inner trailer side first. Get a good look over the top of this B flag. And well, so far it's been all Stamina early. Actually, it's been nothing but Stamina early. Asaka was able to change that just a touch, but the B flag is already gone and in favor of Stamina.
Uy, la Bizon con mira, qué
It
raro
looks
se me
like
hace.
Stamina just really favors these respawns that we really love to see here. Now it's gonna be completely different here. It's gonna be that rhythm-based game mode that you really want to get, especially knowing that, here we go, I almost thought that there was gonna be a triple cap.
¿Sabes qué? ¡Qué falso! ¡Pero qué mentira! ¡Pero qué mentira! Mentira, es mentira,
Wow, this has been flawless from Stamina. I'm sure they would have loved to keep the C flag a little while longer, but off the rip, they just instantly stack 3 members on B for a quick capture. They have not lost control of trailer yet, and they even have some influence right underneath 10. So what I'm trying to get at here is that Tragic has very little room to work with. They're going to have to fight up against this SMG lineup of Stamina, who, to be fair, have done a lot of the work thus far, but
right now they can't even get at least
coincido que extraño, sí, no tienes tanto
really having a hard time with the push right now, and I feel like it's because they're really just struggling as all
la
of these
verdad es
members
que
from Stamina are
Dominion
just really
Feeding
just going
o se
around
me da muy
here. Just a
bien
really quick
o tengo
triple
muy mala
cap though
suerte y se
here.
me da horrible, o sea,
this is actually good
depende
news,
del
though,
día.
I think, just for
Es por la
Tragic
risita
trying to get
viejito.
back into this game for the first time. They have
Están jugando en celular, en celular están jugando Willy.
They're down about double the points, 50 to 28 the current tally, and not a lot of opportunity here for Tragic to get over towards this B flag. Toby looking to recontest back at the obstacle course, finds himself a double. One more inside a trailer. He's looking for the 3rd free kill, but it's Denzo who finds the response, but unfortunately could not save their teammate on the B flag. So currently, status will still maintain for Stamina as they hold 2 flags for the time being.
Oh, 2 flags for the time being, but look at
Uy,
Bravo.
que se viene
It's
tricap,
slowly going to be get here by Tragic. They are going to want to get that Bravo flag. But at the same time, you already know that Stamina might not be able to actually get in there. But here we go. Just as fast as we thought that they were going to be able to actually get those 2 points, well, I've got it, and we can already see how well Stamina just does that.
I mean, it's so close, and all these little individual players from Tragic trying to finish off the completion of the B flag. They never cleared out 10. They never fully got possession of what happened over Truth's trailer, so the depletion of that progress has been made, and all the meanwhile, it's Stamina who never let go of that C flag. So the split focus from Tragic never finds the full success. It's 75-44, and Stamina is all over this domination so far.
Karma está
the
nova,
reason why
sí.
they actually
Karma
can't
está
get a
nova.
flag for too long is because they don't even clear the areas before actually getting that flag. They're just trying to go for that rotation, right? And right now we are going to be seeing early
guadaña esa, yo no sé.
here in trailer, but at the same
A
time,
mí no me convence, es que a mí no me convence ninguna racha de estas raras.
They might be using all these utilities a little bit too early.
A mí solo me convencía los picos y como ya no mato con ellos, no me gusta ninguna racha. Prefiero hasta no usarlas. Porque las uso mal. Hola Jire, muy bien, ¿tú qué tal?
Oh man, this is not looking good
Joder, se
whatsoever
parece
for
que estaba
Tragic. They were
apuntando
so
al cielo.
close to grabbing that B flag, and I thought Asaka was going to make the play, but in turn, it's actually Grizz down by tires to come back through the middle of the map and find a double on the flag itself, and that's going to lead to Stamina eventually having the favor with the numbers to stack, get the B flag, and now it's just down to grabbing a home flag, of which they will decide it will be A. They're clearing things out with the death machine, and that will be enough for a 2-flag status.
Karma busca pareja, preferiblemente hombres. La racha del perro me convence por ser un perro. Hola, Frankie. ¿Qué tal va la racha del perro, gente? Me han dicho que el perro es como que está muy roto, ¿no? Como que es casi invencible.
For both of these teams, I'm not quite sure if their anchoring is really the best here. I feel like it's a little bit too messy, even for the side of Stamina. That even though that they're actually having that lead, I think it's a little bit unpredictable. They're not able to actually control the spawns, because if you are going to be able to control Alpha, you'd want to spawn them out as far as firing range, so they won't be able to actually get into C. But just when I said that, they're actually able to actually get all those 2 points. Bravo and Charlie are going to be taken here by Stamina.
This is so difficult now for Tragic because there is a sentry turret right over the top of the B flag. You have to clear it. You're not going to have an AC hold. It's not going to work. And even beyond that, Stamina's making to the trailer continues to stay in their favor. This has just been all Stamina all the time. The score streaks have been really, really successful for them as well. We haven't talked about it much. The Hunter drones have been great. The Predator missiles have been great. And beyond that, the operators have also been very successful. Even Narc's turning around, finding players through the smoke as there was a desperate play for Tragic to try to capture the B flag. That gets denied, and we're looking at 120 to Tragic. Their backs absolutely up against the wall.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I was saying a while ago.
Tiene que ser personas de la misma región, Vegeto.
Able to do the spawn control, and you're going to see here Inferno yet again with the death machine here shift. They know they're going to be spawning.
Pero es que tampoco siento que mate tanto la máquina esto, no sé. Por lo menos ahora que veo que la están usando.
Charlie, but 131 and 85. I think it's going to be very hard for them to finally pull through. They need to go for that triple cap.
It's just not coming through. I mean, if we could just put a heat map over the mini-map overall, you would see that Stamina have rarely lost control of Trailer.
Oye, ¿hay algún equipo que esté invicto?
And for Tragic, that means that they don't have any look towards the bottom side of the map. Now, finally, they are getting a little bit of clearance in that position, but Toby up top and
Madre mía, Toby!
Wow, Toby!
Madre mía,
Absolutely
Toby!
destroys
Madre
every
mía,
single
Toby!
Tragic member on the middle of the map, and he may have single-handedly just confirmed the win.
Madre mía!
146 to 93, the tally, and no chance for Tragic to get a triple kill. What a play from Toby.
Que no le ha servido de nada, que tampoco le ha servido de nada.
It was a quad kill with a PP-19, and this is the reason why it just had to be.
Se acaba de hacer a 4, pero claro, es que ya ha sido en el último momento.
That mag size, especially with that damage, is absolutely crazy. You're basically making an SMG with an ADS speed so fast.
Les queda una ronda hasta
like
mira para pasar.
having that really big mag, so absolutely crazy.
¿Son
stuff,
eliminatorias o no? No
Toby.
entiendo,
I
tío.
can already tell that in, you know, with Search and Destroy, he didn't really shine as well over there, but then with all these respawns, he's absolutely crazy, the playmaker for his team.
La verdad es que el
It's
medio
just, you
resumen
know,
que
and
ponen
I think your
aquí.
take on this, because one of the biggest things that we've
En plan,
seen here
algunas
from
kills no son tan
Stamina
buenas.
was how much
Gracias, Vegeto, por la
continual
rosita.
focus they worked through Trailer. I hate to kind of keep harping on it and beating a horse till it's absolutely dead, but the simple fact of the matter was Tragic never used resources to fully try to clear out Trailer. Yeah, there were a couple of plays where 3 of them would try to make the play around the bottom side of the minimap, but it was instantly responded by Stamina. I mean, even in the last moments that we saw, it was Toby up top. He gets a read that, okay, Tragic wants to try to make a play, coming in around the backside of Trailer. I'm just going to sit top wood, watch them come to the B flag, and just farm kills. Same thing here. You know, once he gets that Trailer control, he knows the play has to be coming from wood, so he just gets into the windows. And these SMGs for Stamina were just way overbearing through the bottom side of the map, and it never allowed Tragic really a decent look at any point over the top of the B zone for longer than maybe 10-15 seconds.
It kept on flipping, you know, they're trying to get Alpha and Charlie. You can already tell that with firing range, you are going to be seeing that, but at the same time, Tragic just had too much of a hard time to actually hold one point. It kept on having to really rotate, and it's not really a dominating game because we didn't really see much of a triple cap, but at the same time, it doesn't really matter. All you need are 2 points, and really just get all those power positions, right?
Tenga más tiempo, voy a ver todas las series ahí que tengo pendientes. Llegué tarde nunca. Nunca se llega tarde, gente.
Even in moments in the late part of that first half where Tragic, they almost were able to capture it back, but it just Stamina never let go of that B flag. So they take the advantage in the series after the swing map, go up 2-1. And we go over to Crossfire for the next hard point. This is another map that neither of these two teams have played so far here in Mobile Masters, but one that you have to feel like we should be seeing a lot of that interaction happening over towards that back side of the map. Kind of seeing who controls the storefronts when we rotate between some of these very extreme hard points.
Absolutely, but you know what I'm scared with this one, right, for Stamina at least, is Tragic might go in for that gym gameplay, but then knowing that he didn't really do too well in our Search and Destroy, he might have a hard time here, because from what I know from Crossfire, you would want at least one sniper to just get rid of everyone from long range and really just control all of that spawn. At the same time, what we've seen, we don't know how they play in Crossfire, so it's going to be very interesting. And at the same time, Stamina is really, really good at this respawn, especially with Jim reeling that, having a lot of those kills and really having the plays for his team.
Yeah, it just comes down to, can Stamina find a way to continue their presence over the top of what we saw from Standoff in map number 1. Really good at responding to everything Tragic was throwing at them. That would have to be the case once again. And as we jump on board with the hot hand from last game, it's Toby pulling out the DLQ-33, at least initially, but you don't feel like he's likely going to stick with that. You have to feel like if it's going to be anybody, it might be Ghoul who pulls out that sniper rifle. We'll see how things go, but it will be, again, this mad dash over towards the side building. You're going to be seeing a lot of these choppers coming into play. Again, the LMG spam through the walls. You mentioned in week number 1, these walls may be made out of paper mache for all intents and purposes, because you can pretty much wall penetrate just about everything in this game.
Yeah,
you can, especially in this map. You really have a lot of spots.
¿Por
You can
qué
even
creo desde
parkour
aquí
over here into that
Tragic
floor.
gana esa
And this, you know
clasificación?
what? It's gonna be interesting how they actually go and defend this
No
one.
sé.
They're doing such a good job, and they're just walking in here one by one, single file, just saying,
Yo quiero
please
que
kill
gane la
us, and we're
final.
just gonna be falling down like flies.
No va.
Yeah, that's all starts though, I will say.
Si
You know,
no,
typical energy from the chopper up top.
Oxygen.
That just makes sure that the rotation through
Y
midstream
si
is completely
no,
denied. Stamina get possession of the building
Stamina.
early and then just put the SMGs into the staircases. But good recovery here
Yo
from Tragic.
creo.
Able to work their way around the front
Porque
of the building,
de
get up
ese ya
top,
no
clear
juega
out
nadie,
everybody
¿no?
from
De
Stamina.
Sudamérica no
And this
juega
will allow
nadie.
them a chance not just to tie this game, but pending that, of course, they can hold the scrap time, which they should be able to, they will actually take a bit of a
Si
lead.
quieren,
Go ahead and
exacto,
see
si
though,
quieren
one more
los
player trying to contest some of the
GPs.
finesse time. It's Toby who's
¿Son
holding
1000 o son
close,
10.000?
but it's really
1000.
down to can they
No
actually
GPs.
hold on to these spawns. There is a good anchor in the back, but the presence for Tragic is starting to do him out.
¿De dónde
Now,
eres?
the anchor
Soy
in the back did such a
de
good job, but at the
España, de
same time,
Madrid.
you can already see here, no one is going to be able to actually get it solidly. You can already tell here
flip.
that, oh, his Sokka, yeah, it flipped. The spawns have flipped at the advantage right now.
Sí, sí, es de
But
Perú.
nonetheless, you can see
Sí,
here,
sí,
Tragic
soy de
really
Perú, sí.
having a good time here. But
Que
at
de
the
verdad
same
me pone
time, even
como
though that their
nerviosa
spawn were in
ver la
their
Bizon
favor,
con
they still
mira.
can't
Es que me
get
pone
the
como
contest.
tensa.
It's just so
Ahora
difficult
mismo
with all
estoy
these Stamina
tensa.
members knowing that the spawns flip out. They just
Pues
turn
me
their
hace
attention
muy,
down
muy,
towards the
muy raro, de
staircases.
verdad lo
They're holding
digo.
on to some significant time, but Asaka eventually works on in, gets the clearance right at the halfway point through this hard point. So 40 is where it'll stall for Stamina, and you've Tragic in a really solid position to try to
Le van
once
a subir
again
por donde ha
not just
subido
tie,
él.
but potentially take a lead.
Pero-
Here comes the push on the front of Asaka for two, not going to get the third.
qué
Sabs
pena.
quickly trying to
No
find
se
the
lleva el
trade
tercero.
and will, and with that, that should be the scrap time confirmed for Tragic, but keep your eye on Nart.
Qué pena.
Number 2 in blue, maybe thinking about finessing, but getting the call from their teammates that we do not have a good zone on these exit kills. Let's back up and try to play safe.
Stamina with
Jaime,
a
yo te lo he
beautiful
explicado,
rotation
es
here
porque
in
en YouTube
P3,
solo
but
subo
at the same
vídeos.
time, you already know Jim.
Ahí tengo, mira, me recuerdo esos
Amazing
tres randoms que ya los
AK-117
bots
gameplay here, and he's able to
total.
actually get rid of two
¿Sabías que
people,
somos vecinos? No
getting
lo sabía,
Tragic
no lo
into this
sabía.
P3. This should
¿Dónde
have
eres
been
tú?
Stamina's hardpoint, but no, they went in there really winning all those gunfights. I feel like there wasn't a lot of people in there.
Joder, con el
There was
AK
just one OBJ player
40,
there
o sea,
wasn't able to
117,
actually
¿qué raro
get
se me
that
hace?
defense.
But spawns are still staying very nice for Stamina.
Esto bueno, sí,
Use
esto
that
voy
to
a-
get the reinforcements a bit
Por
sooner,
eso, Jaime,
and then they
en plan,
eventually do
uso estas
deal with
plataformas.
Tragic in full. But
Creo que son
again, like we
mil.
mentioned, very typical for Tragic.
Bueno,
Able to
paso a
find some
retirarme,
contest in the
darle
opening
pavo a
30
ese
seconds.
equipo.
Can they find a way to
Esa
recover
es,
this?
Rafael,
Back
muchísima
30
suerte.
as well.
Que deseamos
Toby just
suerte.
laying down the
Y
trigger.
gracias por pasarte,
So
chao.
much damage. Going to find another elimination just as the cross was starting to come out. And you can already see Tragic are saying, chalk it, rotate. Let's just go ahead and give away this back 20 seconds in favor of a good rotation to new.
Yeah, the rotation needs to come in right now for both of these
Good
teams,
play.
and it looks like to be that Stamina is going in for that early rotation. You know what, Shift? I'm really impressed with Stamina's rotations right now. It's perfect. It's not too early, but it's not too late, and it's always
Que me
just, you know,
encanta en el chat
Tragic
que
coming
siempre
in
están
for the catch-up.
como...
Yeah,
Debes
the
probar la
Soccer,
GR,
Soccer,
sí,
this is
sí, tengo que probarla.
ambitious,
Sabía
to
yo que
say
iba a
the
ser
least.
meta, tío, es que lo
Will
dije.
fall. And as we do rotate over to this back building, it is going to be
Sabía yo
Stamina
que
on that
lo
rotation
iba
like
a
you called out, Mommy. Able to
hacer.
get here first for the anchor. Tragic starting to use a couple of their resources,
Yo
trying to
ya
break,
avisé.
feeling like, okay, if we're going to chalk scrap time,
Sí, sí,
we
ayer le
need to
robé
find a
una
way
de
to get some
76
additional here, but it's going to be
con mira por
cool.
6.
Death Machine watching the cross, finding the couple
Joder.
Predator missile also getting involved, and
Esto ha sido
Stamina
para
now a chance
demostrarme
to
que
really build a
que
lead.
la
Money
máquina esta
Hill.
sí
This
mata
is the
gente.
Money Hill. Here comes the money, and right now Stamina just getting this hard
Hola,
point.
Ceci, ¿y
This is
esto?
very,
Hola,
very hard
Luis,
to
eso
actually
del
get.
torneo
That's
oficial
why
de
you
Call
need
of
to
Duty
get to
Mobile,
this
la
point where you
Masters,
really need to
de
decide if you are going to be going
$50,000
into
de
that early
premio,
rotation.
que
But then
esto
look
se
at the
está
map.
jugando ahora.
Look at the map right now here. Shift Goal is
Madre
heading
mía.
over to
Anda
the
que no ha gastado
P5,
balas.
and it's going to be
Y
interesting
no le he
how
matado,
three
no le he
of
matado.
these
No
team
puede
members
ser,
from Tragic
no
are gonna
puede
be
ser que se lo
going in there for the
lleve.
kill as well.
Madre mía.
But the stun denies the full rotation, so it's a costly hard
Nelson
point
sí que lo han
against
nerfeado,
Tragic,
pero a
but
mí
now
me
an
sigue
opportunity to
gustando
set
bastante,
themselves up with
A mí
spawns
me
to
sigue
get into this
gustando
final
bastante.
hill. Jim is actually behind this play, making sure
¿Sí
nobody
viste
can
el modo
rotate
Red
through
Magic?
the
¿Cuál,
front,
el
and that is
6?
absolutely brilliant. Now the spawns are anchored. It's going to be Stamina trying to contest from the bottom left of your mini-map. Spawning out, looking for a way to get on in. Trophy system makes sure that the Predator missile, or pardon me, the Hunter drone, does get denied, and now Shift watching the
Está
cross,
potente, sí,
spamming
sí.
the hole in the wall, and that will be good to quell some of this initial attempt from the side of Stamina.
Ooh, now look at all these points. I feel like they're going to be able to actually clutch
Hola,
this up,
Joto.
and I don't think it's going to be able for them to
La
actually
Chopper
go
va a
in there
tope,
for
no,
the
y
kill. As you
todo,
can see here, the
vamos.
defense is going to be
Oh.
solid right now. It is a Denza yet again
Vaya
with the two-piece.
triple.
Gonna be able to
Vaya
help out,
triple.
finding essentially a full third as he had some help from his teammates and Shift, finding some kills on potentially the rotation, not able to find the second, and now he's kind of caught in no man's land, or is he? Able to find one elimination, looking for more beyond it inside the diner,
Madre
not
mía,
able to
se ha ido muy
finish
lejos,
off
se
the
ha ido muy
eliminations,
lejos.
and Stamina will
Se ha
recover,
vendido.
but that
La
was an
Susi ni me
absolutely
lee, debería. Es
brilliant
que he leído
60
eso,
seconds
pero he
for
dicho,
Tragic.
bueno,
They get right back in the lead,
¿para qué voy a
and the tug of
comentar
war here at
nada,
Crossfire
sabes?
continues.
Solid defense here,
¿Viste
amazing
las
for
ruedas
both
que vienen
teams
su
may I
temporada?
add, and right now it's going to be
De verdad, estoy
the
como
challenge of
súper
P1 and who's going to be able to
desaparecida, en
actually
plan,
get in here.
de todo,
And I'm
o
actually
sea,
very
tengo
surprised
que
that Narcs is
informarme
having a
bien de
very,
todo lo
very amazing
nuevo,
time. The
de
KD
todo.
for him is not going to be too well, but at the same time, it doesn't really
A
matter.
mí ni le dio
Death
mi
Machine
rosa.
operator skills and all of it
No
is going to be
viste
coming
ninguna
up right now.
rosa.
South with a very important grab spike for his team, finally getting all these kills, and right now it's going to be all red.
8 seconds away from the win. One more chance for Stamina. Jim trying to spam the doorways, but it's Narcs who comes in for 2, finds 3, not gonna get the
Uy,
4th, but
se
sends
llega a
a
llevar al
shutdown.
cuarto.
Now an opportunity for this to start to go the other way. Sav in the hill, not gonna be able to get the
Madre
bubble to
mía.
secure the game.
Hace rato, jo, pues no la
135,
vi, lo siento,
146.
lo
Shift
siento.
now on the way
No la
forward.
vi,
You
lo vi.
still have to
Siempre
contest
agradezco
this
todo,
if
ya
you're
lo sabes, lo
Tragic,
siento,
but they
muchas
can't
gracias.
get through Ghoul.
Hola,
Now
Foquita.
it's 142,
Hola.
146.
¿Sí
Ghoul
le
watching
diste
to jump up,
¿Sí la
finds
leí?
another. Turning around, he needs some help. It's 145, 146. Ghoul on a rampage. Grizz also
Madre
part
mía,
of it.
madre
And
mía.
Stamina
Madre
on the late
mía,
break,
en el
taking
último
150,
segundo.
146.
Madre mía.
Wow, 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 wow. What an ending to a game, folks. Man, what the hell was that, guys? Because you look at this series,
Vaya
throughout the
lo que
entirety
acaban
of
de
it,
hacer.
and, you know, you go to map number 1 on a hard point, Stamina takes it. Map number 2 is Tragic. You got a team that's very good at the single life
Sí, sí,
game
sí,
modes.
vamos.
You got a team that's very great
Foquita,
at the
muchísimas gracias
respawn
por
game
toda
modes.
semana que
But
tenías
when it
guardado.
came down to domination,
Muchas
that
gracias.
next
¿Qué tal
hard
estás,
point,
Foquita?
that story really held true because Stamina, when it came down to it,
Wow,
Toby and
wow,
the crew,
wow.
they absolutely turned
Wow,
up there,
wow,
especially
wow.
Gould there in those last few seconds shift because
Se
it
la
was
sacó
about
ahí el Gould,
126 to, I want to say 70 or so before we saw Tragic start to make
Gracias,
that
Luffy, por las
comeback.
manas.
Where
Gracias,
did they
Locker,
fail
por tu
at?
follow.
It was really
Está jugando
good
Karma,
through the
juega ahora,
fourth and
juega ahora
fifth
en un
points
poco.
for Tragic.
Santos.
That lockdown on the bottom side of the map was so brilliant. They were really good at kind of
Madre
making sure the
mía.
spawn stayed anchored, but
Vaya
more
locura.
importantly, they kept a couple of players to kind of edge around the outsides and make sure that
Los
the
casters
rotation
son
from the side of
buenos,
Stamina was
son mejores que en
always
otros
contested. They
eventos.
never got a good look at a break setup, but the problem was as soon as they started to funnel over towards the first hard point again, they didn't really get a chance to fully zone. They allowed Stamina to get underneath the building. Ghoul sneaks on up, finds himself an incredible 1v multiple
Mucha emoción,
situation,
pero como
gets
sea la
just
final
enough
se la
help
lleva
from
Nova,
Grizz,
tío,
and
ojalá.
then the break attempt at the last
No sé si
second
es el
could not
único que
come
cuando
through
va a
for
usar
Tragic.
Franco
It's just a
dura un
little bit
poquito
of
para
not
recargar
really
y
repeating
cuando
what
ve
they did
clips
on the
con
fifth hard
Franco.
point into the first. They were so good at
Igual es por
zoning
la
out
clase que
Stamina to
llevan,
the fifth
depende de la
hill.
clase,
They were
se
not
apunta
able
más
to do the
rápido o más
same thing,
lento.
though,
Y
going
la
back
Susi
to the
Blue,
first.
Ooh,
uy.
man, just
Gracias, un
coming up
Richie por
short
las
there.
manas.
Mommy, what are your thoughts
Son
on this
mejores que los
series here?
Takataka.
Well, I have a lot of thoughts here, like especially going up and down with the emotions because I
No
didn't know
sabía
who's
que la
actually gonna
segunda
win.
etapa ya había
Tragic,
empezado.
Stamina,
No,
but
no,
at the
no.
same
Ah, sí,
time,
sí,
there's
sí,
still
ya ha
a
empezado.
lot
No,
to
empieza
actually
este
see, and I
finde.
really wanna
La
see the
segunda
schedule
etapa.
here.
Me parece.
Well, okay, we were about to come to the schedule
O el
right
que
now.
viene.
So as
El
you
día
guys
9
see,
creo que
Stamina
empieza.
taking down Tragic 3-1, but then you got
Sigue
Nova
Nova, ahora
versus
juega
Felion
Nova. Mira,
coming
Nova
up
contra
next, and
Felion.
finally, in our last matchup of the day, it's going to be EXO versus
Y luego Shosho.
Viva Gracia. Mommy, which
Sí, he
one of these
visto
two
el Red Magic, sí lo he
matchups are you?
visto.
Actually, I know you're excited for both of them. I don't want to ask
Beef
you that. What I
Mami
do
también
want to ask
casteó
you
la
is
de
that
China.
when it
Se me
comes
hace
down to Nova
conocida.
versus the
Me
Felion,
parece que sí que
you
fue
give the
ella.
fans one word now to
Puede ser
describe
que
that
sí,
series. What
puede
would
ser
it
que
be?
sí.
Honestly, they've been struggling. Both of these teams have one loss and one
Sí,
win,
este es
so I
otro
really want
torneo.
to see all of these teams
Este es
really
la
just
Masters.
step
Gracias,
up,
Florecita, juego por la
especially
Rosita.
going into this,
Hermoso, no
third
tienes
week.
hechizos
And at the same
personalizados.
time,
No,
you already
todavía
know that
no.
Ophelia
Todavía
and
no.
Nova
Me
are
gustaría
big,
diseñar
big
algo. ¿Ya
names
tienes
here
equipo?
in
Sí.
EU, so both of these teams
Sí
really
tengo.
need to step it up, especially knowing the pressure on their shoulders.
Yeah, this is
El
definitely a lot
price
of
pool
pressure on
son
both these
10k, no
teams'
son
shoulders,
50k.
folks. So that's gonna do
50k.
it for us
50.000
for now.
dólares.
But when we come back, we'll have that series
Susi,
coming
Carmen
at
y
you
tú
hot.
dónde juegan?
So don't
En
go
Nova.
anywhere.
En Nova juegan. Juegan ahora a continuación. En 10 minutitos. Vale, pues iba a jugar una partida, pero es que he tenido que desconectar la capturadora para poder conectar el ratón porque me fallan los puertos. Entonces, ¿qué queréis que hagamos en 10 minutitos? No, esto es para todas las regiones. Vemos... A ver... Tururururu. Despacito. No. ¿Vemos algún vídeo de highlights o algo así, gente? ¿Qué le pasa al ratón? Que me fallan los puertos delanteros. Me fallan los puertos delanteros. A ver. Vamos a ver al Narc. If you ever got this feeling. Mira, subió un vídeo después de 2 meses, ¿eh? Así que vamos a ver este vídeo. A ver qué tal. Este chico me encanta, te lo juro, es que es buenísimo. Y es solamente clips de torneos y de... Oye, qué guay la música, ¿no? Uy, parecía que era transparente. Ah, eso es con iPad, es verdad, porque se pasaron como iPad, ¿no? Pero ya está en el móvil otra vez. Mira, le ahora jugando con móvil, tío, es que te imaginas ser buenísimo un móvil en iPad, yo no me lo imagino. Yo soy con un móvil y seré con un iPad, o sea, es que no hay vuelta atrás. Qué buena. No, hombre, es práctica, sí, pero llevo jugando más de un año y soy un cono todavía. Yo soy botemor en iPad. Qué buena. Qué buena. ¡Ay! ¿Y por qué estaban los dos como mirando hacia la nada, en plan? Muy buena, muy buena. Vamos a ver la nuca de Rai. Rai Cod Mobile. Que está haciendo vídeos sacándose nuke con todas las armas. A ver con la Chicom, madre mía, con una Chicom. Para mí es el mejor jugador competitivo de Europa. Siempre ha jugado así. Es más, para mí jugaba más antes que después del acto del armero. Puede ser. Pero sí es muy bueno. Gracias, Florecita, por las manas. Gracias, Levi, por el follow. ¿Qué tal? Tío, el raid me hace como mucha gracia jugando, en plan, cuando está en directo. Porque es como que no habla. O sea, como que habla pero no habla. No sé, es muy raro. Como que le da vergüenza todavía, ¿sabes? Es que Ray es Ray, no, total. O sea, a este hombre le dan, yo qué sé, le dan 20 minas y se saca una nuke usando las 20 minas. O sea, es que es una bestia. Vamos, yo no mato a nadie, absolutamente a nadie con la chico. Pero, tío, ¿por qué? En plan... ¿Te imaginas ser bueno hasta con una chico? De todas formas, yo te voy a decir una cosa. Yo quiero probar esa clase, ¿eh? Yo quiero probar esa clase. Ah, qué pena. Ay, buena. Ese de la chico me está fino. ¿Cuántos años tienes? Eres una niña. Tengo 21 años. Soy una niña. Pasa, chico. Ahora creo que... A ver si enseña la clase ahora. A ver si la enseña ahora. Y la probamos, Yo la probé y no va nada mal.
Ya va.
Tío, es que es Dios, te lo juro. Es que es Dios. Bueno, ahí también le han fallado aproximadamente 385 balas, también te lo digo. Porque vamos.
Captured Alpha.
Si no, ese lo hubiera matado ahí, yo creo.
A nadie le gusta perder el
Ay,
tiempo
pero no me
buscando
pongas un
descuentos.
anuncio.
Muchas
Pero
veces
bueno.
tardamos más en buscar en páginas de cupones y probar códigos que ni siquiera
Pero
funcionan
bueno.
que en hacer nuestra compra.
Ahora pruebas la clase y no... Vamos, seguro, es que estoy tan segura, Juan Daniel. Es que no tengo pruebas, pero tampoco dudas. O sea, te lo digo. Wichicom Oil Spill. Joder, es que esa skin es muy bonita. Esa creo que estaba en la tienda, ¿verdad? Si no me equivoco. Debe ser frustrante que te den una paliza. Y ya no que te den una paliza, sino que se saquen una nuke. O sea, por favor. O sea, por favor. Ay. Que me entra, que voy a estornudar. Madre mía. Es que flipas, tío. Admiro también lo pasivo que juega, Pensé que si usabas rachas ya no podías... sí puedes sacarla, pero la kill de la racha no cuenta. O sea, por ejemplo, él ha matado a uno con el Predator. O con lo que sea. Entonces, esa kill del Predator no cuenta. Es como si tuvieras que hacerte 21 kills, ¿sabes? Bueno, ganará, espero, ¿no? Porque si encima pierde... Lo que me faltaba, el pobre hombre. Es un poco basurilla, Espero que ganen. O sea, si les capturan los otros, pierden. ¿Lleva mira? Ah, pensaba que llevaba mira. ¿Se va a hacer una doble? Bueno, es que una doble nuke ya no le da tiempo, pero yo creo que si hubiera tenido más tiempo se la hacía, Vale, bueno, ya les pueden capturar los que quieran, que aún así...
Nice pro.
¿Qué hay de buena parte? Hola, Tao, ¿qué tal? O sea, la Taz, perdón. ¿Cómo estás? ¡Ah! Es que mata hasta de lejos, tío. Yo te lo juro, las clases de Chicón que he probado se me iban súper lejos, en plan, horrible. Y también cuando hace doble nuke en una partida. ¿Se va a sacar una doble nuke? No, porque ya se le ha acabado. Vamos, si no, vamos, estás tú que no se saca una doble nuke. Voy a recargar. Juega ahora Karma y Turu, gente. Vamos a verles aquí. Hola, Lepi, ¿qué tal? Es que te imaginas ser tan bueno, o sea, yo no me imagino siendo tan buena. Yo creo que voy a pedir para Navidad ser tan diosa en COD Mobile, o sea, increíble. Buen aim y buenos MS. Sí, a ver, tampoco es verdad, ¡Ay! Muchísimas gracias, Misael. Muchas gracias de corazón por las 50 estrellitas. Te lo agradezco mucho. Juega al Turu, sip. Sip. ¿Se va a sacar otra nuke? Es que quiero adelantarlo un poco porque esto ya va a empezar. Arigato sola, ¿no? Ah, no. Va en racha de 10. ¡Ah, no, que ya la tiene! El rayo es muy bueno. Madre mía. Rai es japonés, pero vive en España. Lo que pasa es que creo que viaja como mucho a Japón. Y de hecho ahora estaba jugando en el servidor japonés. Pero vive en España. No es que no quiera la clase, la necesito. Sí, tía. O sea, de hecho habla un poquito de español. A ver si ha puesto la clase. Mírala, mirad la clase, gente, hacedle captura. A ver, voy a hacerle captura, gente, y la voy a pasar por el armero de mi servidor de Discord. Y la probamos luego. ¿Vale? Tú eres más buena que Rai, sí. Sí, claro. En España no hay 20 meses, no, en España no. O sea, a lo mejor si estás conectado por cable y tal, pero que no, que en España no. A ver, la he pasado por el armero de mi servidor de Discord, gente. Por si alguien la quiere tener a mano. Bueno, vamos a ver esto, que esto ya empieza. Uf. Hardpoint Hackney Yard. Gente, voy rápidamente al baño, ¿vale? Voy rápidamente al baño.
But at the same time, they did have this game against XOXO and lost that particular game in this particular map. So I'm not quite sure. I feel like it's going to be 50-50, but I feel like they did prepare for this one.
Yeah, they definitely did prepare for this one. Well, we will see how prepared they will be for this series. Casters, take it away.
Thanks so much, Blaze. Yeah, this will be a really interesting one because for both of these teams, they have had a bit of a trial getting into just this one and most standpoint, because Nova had that Game 5 thriller versus EXO in the first week. Aphelion unfortunately had to play up against Tragic in their first week, but played them close on both the Surge and the Dom. Both teams with 3-0 in week number 2. So, as we get into this one, we have to, of course, shout out the observers. Kyle and Shane, incredible stuff in the first series. And a map that I know for a fact they're very confident in. This Hackney Yard was one that we spent a lot of time, obviously, seeing last year on Hardpoint. One of the big keys that we're really kind of looking out for here, Mommy, is not necessarily what happens here on the first Hardpoint, but what could happen as we look over towards the left side of the minimap, that very difficult to break second hill.
Absolutely, and the spawn was...
Que esto ya empieza, vamos Karma, vamos Karma, te amo Karma.
They were having a hard time, as you can see here. Nova really
mía,
just has everything down.
Vamos Karma, como mola, se merece una ola.
That they were really good at. At the same time, the rotation just really needs
Gracias,
to go
Mateo,
around here,
por el
especially for
online.
number 2. It's going to be very interesting how all these teams really go in for that rotation, knowing how well Nova gets this.
Yeah, Nova, that's absolutely perfect for them. They actually kind of, I won't say bait Aphelion into full stacking over towards the first hardpoint.
Madre mía, qué alboroto tú, perrito piloto.
Consider contesting, and as they do, Nova put the spawns around. So now they're in a position to really run away with this game early. And it's going to be down to Goes up top, not going to be able to see what happens in the window. Toru on the way forward, able to keep things safe for Nova. And Genius, who was the last player for Aphelion
Mira
to
el
try to
Karma,
work their way
con la
in,
triple, qué
also
bueno
dealt
es.
with. But
Qué
there is
bueno
a
es.
place for Yaya to make a play in the backside, try to flip around these spawns a little bit, but the problem is they have not even seen this hard point really at all through these first 30 seconds.
Qué bueno eres Karma.
Here, 66-3, and it was supposed to be on over here for Nova. They were actually able to get it. And then Aphelion, it was supposed to be their spawn, but they weren't able to actually utilize that. They were supposed
Madre mía,
to
si que bien
get
juega
that
objetivo el Karma,
rotation,
le
but
admiro,
at the
tío.
same time, Nova just went in there really quickly. One full push here at the same time. I know it is going to be very hard, but then the
Qué
push
guay.
here through that
Salvo que se
P3
roban un
does get
montón.
along here, especially from Aphelion side, but at the same time, Marxy just proves to be a little bit too much.
This is perfect Hackney Yard hard point from Nova.
You haven't
The
got
exit
this
timing is
fair.
absolutely flawless. They split the spawns up.
Yo creo que les van a meter una paliza.
Top window. Predator missiles can be called in, and this is rough for Aphelion at the moment. Goza gonna find one kill up top that will help them open up some space, but
Ay, guardando la
now
esquinita.
you've got streaks on streaks coming through really quickly, and Nova could just step right back onto this hard point with their proximal spawns by yellow. Aphelion are absolutely getting destroyed here on the rotation timings of Hackney Yard.
They need to go and anchor into F4 warehouse so they can actually able to get at least one power position for their name, but at the same time, they're just struggling right now here. Shift 4 to 150. 20 seconds left here in P2 as well. Now, we are going to be having that rotation yet again here for the next hard point, and it's going to be difficult for them to actually get it. But here we go, they actually get it. Aphelion finally catches a break, but not too long here, Shift.
Pero también Karma es OBJ, o por lo menos siempre ha sido. Hola Mayar, Bamban. ¿Cómo estás, mi amor?
This has been perfect hardpoint on Hackney Yard. And you're at a point now where all of a sudden, because the first two hills were so successful for Nova,
creo que ahí son
they've got the
objetivos
advantage
Turu
in streaks, they've got the advantage in operators, they've even got a sentry turret that's already been placed.
Madre mía, vaya paliza, es que vaya paliza, tío.
I mean, there's really nothing Aphelion could do. They've already got split spawns
Susi,
now,
¿cuánto
so
mides?
maybe a
Mido
chance to pinch this
1,71.
hardpoint, but they're just not finding any kills. There's just too many streaks and operators on board right for Nova.
Absolutely, and you can already see
Qué
here
dolor,
qué
dolor.
and that is the worst thing that you can ever do here in a hardboard. You're going in through all these entrances one by one, especially knowing that they're going to be operator skills up in the house there. And just like that, what an
Qué
absolute
buena.
dominating round here, and there's really no question as to who won this one.
Here's the thing. I know for a lot of people that are out there, you know, you look towards what Hackney Yard was last year in Modern Warfare. That map was very difficult because it was really just down to who wins the second hard point, who wins the fifth hard point. Both of them bordering up against the backs of the map.
What?
The spawns are very difficult to break. But the biggest problem for me in this map versus Philion was the simple fact that they lose the first hard point.
Qué mala es la gente, tío, La gente es muy mala.
Which allows Nova to flip the spawns around for 2, and then it's just easy slaughters. And the biggest problem is not just that you're down early. We're dealing with COD Mobile where score streaks and operators are a thing. So the snowball turns into an avalanche much faster than you normally expect. And feeling like
eres como el grad
too early,
Felipe,
too heavily, really, at the end of the day when it comes down to those first 2 hard points, never giving them a chance to get back into the game. That's probably one of the reasons why we're not seeing anyone play Hackney Yard hardpoint.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can already tell that all of these guys just really had a hard time just really struggling there, especially that they were spawn trapped all over the place. The spawns were always flipped. Nova always 3-5 steps ahead of them. But then we are heading over here and search and destroying Crossfire. And we already know that these teams really do okay here. I feel like Nova still has an edge for sure. Crossfire, again, is going to be a very interesting map. It is going to be either going for those sniper kills or really going in for those close-range gunfights with your SMGs and shotguns.
Here's the good news for Philion, generally speaking, when you get into the search and destroy. They were able to beat Hypnotize in week 2, 6-4, and they did go round 11 versus Tragic. That was all on firing range. On the opposite side,
Karma es un joven, sí, la verdad es que Karma es muy pequeñito, Karma es muy bajito.
With a round 11 and round 10 lost to XOXO in week number 1.
Sí, me sacas una cabezota.
They did beat Fusion
La
out of what
mayor
was that Team
bajita,
Singularity team, at least by
Karma
our
es un minion,
situation.
sí, la verdad es que sí. Karma mide aproximadamente 1,5 metros.
So the first time we'll see both these two teams here playing on Crossfire for the search, but for Philion, you have to recover and recover quickly. Just toss Hackney Yard on the back of your mind. It's the simple fact that you lost the rotation on your favorite spawn game just got out of hand too quick. Throw that on the back of your mind. Talk about it later. Get ready to go for the search and destroy. Try to tie the series up.
This is the Philion's time to shine. The fact that they were able to make it into round 11 against a team like Tragic is a really, really big deal. So against Nova, I feel like that's going to be easier on their end, but then at the same time, it is a different map. It is an unbalanced map where it's going to be no man's zone at the very center and have a lot of angles, and at the same time, wall bangable, paper thin walls, so you are going to be seeing a lot of choppers here as well, but at the same time, it is going to be that opening pick from those snipers that are really, really essential.
Be really interesting just to see if they can get that going early. That's the big key here. Just try to put some pressure onto this Nova team to have to respond to you at range.
Emilio,
That's going to be the big key. Warback was really good versus Tragic in the search and destroy. Would love to see that come to fruition here once more. So we're just waiting on the lobby to start, but for Crossfire coming up, I'm really, like you continue to mention, it's not just sniper presence. I would love to see just first blood numbers advantage be established early for Philion. If you can find good even trades even in those first blood engagements, that's good news overall. Just don't get behind the ball too soon and play from the back foot against this Nova team, because we've already seen what they can do in the Hackney Yard. They will take that advantage and run with it. You need to make sure they're at least being contested early on if you want to try to see this one come to fruition, because we expect the defense to be heavily favored. It's normal for search and destroy, but especially on this map. So depending on who starts where, if you're Philion, you either need to establish that domination, or if you're looking over on the attacking side, you need to be able to just get a couple of rounds going, and that's the big key.
Yeah, absolutely. And with all of these games going on, don't forget the download link in the description. Don't forget to see that, because it's so important for you guys to actually check that out. And it really means to us as well. Going back into the game, I'm really interested to see the first ones, like what you said, not just the snipers that actually get that, but for the fans that are going to stack B as well, because you already know it's going to be a hot spot, especially going up those stairs. You're going to want to see all of those players. Are they going to be aggressive? Are they going to be going for in that pick? I'm not quite sure, but we are going to be seeing all of these players going in there, especially having all of those shotguns and SMGs, because you do still have the QXR really being the meta for this season, especially for this tournament, and the PP19 as well. You are going to be having all of those peaks over there. You can pre-fire the house down, so that's really, really important to have.
Yeah, it's going to be down to who could get that establishment early. And I continue to
mention
que había
recargado para donarme.
Philion, I would love to see them change the pace, get aggressive, and really come back and start swinging at this Nova team. Because both teams, here's the other thing, if you're joining us here late, they are 1-1. Getting to 1-2 would mean that going into week number 4, week number 5, you have to win out if you want to get to the top 8. You go 2-1, you've got at least a little bit of a cushion, maybe have one more mistake before you finish off your group stage. But simply put, I mean, it's not going to get any easier because we've already seen a team like Stamina really beat up on Tragic just a little bit. So now all of a sudden, one of the teams that ends up 2-1 at the end of the weekend is going to have to play that Tragic team next. That's not great news overall. But then even beyond that, you still have a number of really great teams like Oxygen that we have seen already fulfill a loss that are still kind of sitting in the background. So there are teams that are out there that are currently 1-1 that also are playing today that you feel like if they can get a win, they're also competing for top 8. So this is a very important matchup when it comes to the
Le toca a ella. Pari una botella. Muchísimas gracias. Muchísimas gracias, Flor. Muchas gracias por regalarle la suscripción mayor. Muchísimas gracias, guapísima. La alarma tardaba, sí. Muchas gracias. ¿Y los colaboradores para cuándo? Pues es que todavía no me deja.
Y los colaboradores para cuando Ocar llorando.
Todavía no me deja, Andrés, pero muchísimas gracias por las estrellitas. Se lo merece la mayor, sí, tío, la mayor la amo, tío. Pero luego voy a Barcelona y no quiere verme. Solo no quiere ver la florecita, la mayor no quiere. Mi nombre es Dorado. Eso sí. Ven a México, entre todos te cuidamos.
Has been really consistent for their search and destroy and their domination through their first 2 weeks. I mean, versus Tragic, we already mentioned the round 11, but their domination, they only lost by 16 points.
Como así mayor, sí, Luego voy a verla y no quiere verme a mí.
And kind of pushed him around a little bit on the Hackney Yard domination. It's really just been the hard point that's been a little bit struggling for Aphelion, which is why we continue to kind of harp on the fact that this second map needs to be a win for them.
¿Por qué tardan tanto en poner la partida? Me ponen nerviosa.
Especially that we've got a standoff for the second hard point. That is a map that Nova has been great on so far through Mobile Masters. So you need to win this search. You essentially have to win the 2-3-5 if you're going to win this series. Is what I'm really getting at here if you're Aphelion.
Tío, qué pesados. ¿Por qué no empiezan?
Started, but we are getting into lobby. For me, though, that's where the win condition lies, is getting to Aphelion. The 2, 3, and the 5 is where they win the series.
Vicky, pues nada, en su casa estará estudiando, también está de exámenes, Vicky. Gracias, Flor guapa. ¿Qué emotes puedo enviar? Puedes enviar estos.
And it was so important for them to actually get all of those points. Now, it wasn't firing range, but at the same time, it was absolutely dominating. It was basically a 6-0. And you are going to be up against Aphelion at the same time, where they were able to actually, exactly. So, I don't know, I feel like it's a little bit more of an even playing field in terms of search and destroy against, both of these teams. But if you are going to be talking about respawns, maybe Nova does have a little bit of that edge, but search and destroy is a different game. And you know what, maybe if they actually get to win this one, maybe Aphelion may have that confidence to really boost themselves up here in this domination round. And I just want to see a game 4 and a game 5. We've been seeing a lot of these sweeps right now, so I just really want to see all of these boys pull through.
We'll see how things go. Lobby is fully populated, should be ready to start here in just a moment. But like you mentioned, it's Crossfire for sure here for map number 2. It'll be Summit for the domination to map number 3. And just to kind of put the icing on the cake for that domination, kind of foreshadowing to it, neither of our teams have played Summit domination yet. So in my mind, for Aphelion, 2-3-5 is where it has to start. But like you mentioned, Nova's coming off of a very strong search and destroy performance from week number 2 versus, again, what was Team Singularity. They had a roster, maybe a couple of roster moves, but definitely a brand move as far as them not being represented by the organization anymore. That is Fusion Z. So now you're in a position to where we are loading in. We can stop kind of bantering and vamping through. Let's get into the action. It's map number 2, Crossfire, Search and Destroy, and it will be Nova starting off on the defensive side first. So again, like we continued to mention in the pre-show, for Aphelion, need to see them get some early success here on the attack.
Vamos. Madre mía, vaya mapa también,
going to be Search and Destroy here in Crossfire, and I'm really waiting
vaya mapita, tío.
Really pull through. Oh, Goats is gonna have a DLQ. Very interesting choice here, but then we see here Marky just getting all of that opening frags right now. Nova being so aggressive.
Oh, Karma will find 2.
Qué buena Karma, qué buena esa doble Karma.
All of a sudden for this round to be
haz que ya deje de estar enfadada contigo. Reviéntales.
For Aphelion, but they just do not win the gunfights. Leaves Aether by himself. 1v3 situation, and I have to imagine that Turu has just heard that. Seems like he has, but the kill still comes through initially. Saturn's though watching on the
Madre mía, tiene una pinta de que les van a meter un 6-0. Vamos, o sea, yo no soy adivina, ni conozco el futuro, pero tiene pinta. ¿Cuánto decís? ¿Cuánto decís que quedan? Yo digo 6-0. 6-1 como mucho. Hola, Mirsi. Sígueme en TikTok, que luego lo miro. Quédate con quien tenemos, no sé si la hace Karma.
He's really known for really going into that aggression. He is one of those star players that you should go for.
6-3, ¿quién da más? Nadie me anima. Yo te animo, Juan Daniel. ¡Vamos, Juan Daniel!
Getting aggressive through the A site. They've completely trapped the feeling on inside these back buildings, but goes a good for one. Trying to challenge Toru underneath, and well,
4-2. ¿Cómo van a quedar 4-2? Ni mi perro. ¿Cómo van a quedar 4-2 si el Bait es a 6?
They do have the bomb to work with, but this is a difficult 2v3, having no clearance of any of the high ground across the way.
Yeah, having that high ground really is important, especially getting that one
Qué linda sonrisa, gracias, hombre.
really big. Getting rid of Karma
Bueno, que me estropean la predicción. Que me estropean la predicción.
But now that he's out, it's more of a way that, you know, I feel I can actually just get this frag, maybe even get a plant. There's really just a lot of time here. 47 seconds on the clock. And they are kind of spread out, so I think this is the best thing that they can do is really to just push as a team, because right now you can already see that Ether right now and Saturns are really just really close together.
Enemy contact.
Oh, and here comes the engagement. Turu! A couple of shots go through, but Aether never lets off the trigger, finds the kill. The exchange will be there. Saturns again from this back diner. Able to find the elimination, and now it's down to can he find the quick scope? Absolutely!
¡Qué buena! ¡Qué
buena!
buena!
To right, and that will be now 2-0 up for Nova, but a decent recovery for Aphelion, considering that at one point they were in a 3v5.
¡Qué buena!
Now that is COD timing at its finest. Unfortunately, at the side of Aphelion, they just had to go into the crossfires right now. Saturn's to be really, really great with his sniper right now.
La que se ha llevado 6-0, dice Jen también.
And I think this is what we're talking about, right? The snipers really have this advantage of really getting all of those sites, giving the information, not only getting those entry frags, but really giving information to their team, okay, if we're gonna push here or not. So the bomb is gonna be going down as Saturn's yet again gets another kill.
No te iba a decir, son todos españoles.
This is troublesome for Aphelion. They have allowed this A push through to exist for the defense just a little bit too freely. This time you saw them trying to throw some counter nades, but none of them really connect. So it's going to be on the Genius to watch this push through while the rest of his teammates are going to have to be responsible for what happens to try to recover this bomb. And you can see Saturn's position. Hiding all the way deep in the back. It's a look at Machinist J, misses the first shot, has to back away, but still in a good position up top to watch the cross through the storefronts. The bus depot is currently where a lot of these Aphelion members are positioned, and hopefully they eventually do want to make a play over towards B, but it has to be Aether finding a free kill. And no, it's not going to happen! Yaya still finds the elimination. Morvac responds with one, but more around the corner, and he's going to need a little bit of help.
A little bit of a help is an understatement. He needs a lot of help right now.
Vaya hitmarker le acaban de dar.
Just pushing back, and that's a beautiful snipe by Warback. Finally, what he needs, 4 kills to his name. It is a 3v2 situation, which is still very, very good as the bomb does go down, applying pressure right now for Nova.
Sí, los voy a subir, Luis, los voy a subir.
Some of the bus depot, working with Saturns, who is still across the map. Machinist J. Jump peek, finds the action, QXR in hand, but no, Turu cannot lock down the shots. And Saturn should know that he's got the player in the corner, but this is difficult to do with the sniper rifle. The regen has also come in. The Renetti will have to be trusted for a time while the QXR is recovered. 1v2, 20 seconds on the clock. Saturn's 1v2, 20 seconds on the clock. Saturn's is going to toggle. The bomb has an opportunity to find one. Get the elimination. But now time becoming a bit of a problem. Needs to find the second kill and do it quickly. But the full regen does not come into play. Machinist J allow Aphelion to get on the board for the first time early.
Finally, Machinist J just doing so much for his team, and he's been really, really impressive so far. But Warvac always getting all those entry facts for his team.
Que se ha quedado pillado. Nice live stream.
finally, Machinist
Es que
Jay
no
is
soy
doing
yo,
so
no
much
soy
for
yo.
his team, and he's been
Pensaba que era
really
mi internet,
impressive
pero
so
no.
far. But
Es en
Warvac
general.
always getting all those entry facts for his team. This is what he's getting all those
I
entry.
was about to say,
Ya no
a
hubieras
couple
ganado,
of rounds
no,
ago,
ya no hubieras
Warvac was
ganado.
in the same angle trying to contest the cross, but
Yo dije
misses
6-3.
3 separate easy shots you would feel like for him. But this time the set nades actually do come through successfully, and Aphelion are actually trying to contest over towards the bottom shops.
No, pero que no es mi conexión, es a todo el
Finding a
mundo.
lot of damage with the
Es el
chopper.
directo.
Someone should be trying to play for this elimination, and finally Genius comes around the back to find the free kill. So really good start here again for Aphelion, even though there was a couple of missed shots from Warvac until Yaya
Tío,
runs in,
había dos personas delante suya y ninguno le ha disparado, en plan, ninguno le ha dado una bala. Qué random. ¿Y tu prima por qué ya no sale? Porque ya no está conmigo.
Oh
Vino solo
no,
unos días.
there was 2 of them. I don't know where they were actually pointing
Pa'
their
tu
guns
casa.
at, and right now the asphalt is not supposed to be a gun that you really use for close range, because it is an AR, but at the same time, using that really high fire rate, really just taking it to the advantage
pareció
of
muy raro,
his
eso ha
team,
sido por
and he was
como que no
actually
le
able
han
to get that
disparado.
2-piece really, really beautiful. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe it was a miscomm, they weren't able to actually see him, but that was very, very unfortunate. I feel like that situation could have been in their favor, but right now it's going to be a 3v2 situation, still very clutchable.
Uy, qué buena
Genius has
esa
actually
ahí.
pushed through a little bit. Saturn tracks down him though on the return. Machinist not able to hit the shot. Yeah, that's a round that we're going to have to kind of keep in the back of
Pues si
our
no
minds.
es
It's
el
a
6-0, va a ser
5v3 situation where
6-1,
you've got some pretty solid penetration if you're Aphelion on the offense, and they can't convert. The double from Yaya saves the round realistically from the side of Nova. And instead of it being 2-2, which would have been great
Y ahora
news for
todo
Aphelion on the
cambió.
offense,
Le
now
toca a
it's
ella.
3-1. Warvac hit a shot, not able to connect again. Has another angle, misses that as well. This is a very uncharacteristic performance from Warvac
Mejor
with
no
this
digo
scope.
nada porque yo soy un bot.
Yeah, Warvac just really,
Yo
really
también.
missing all those important shots. That could have been the entry fact that they really want, but then they are 1 man down. Nope, I was gonna say 2
¿Qué
man
das
down.
you're
Oh no, he
trying? Tío,
actually
qué
accidentally kills himself as
pena
Jose finally goes
suicidarte
down
en plan,
here.
en un
And it's a
BD.
3v4 situation here, Chef. This is not really looking good, but at the same time, when I said that, it's
Me
going to
parece
be
horrible, o
even
sea,
now.
porque puedes perder una ronda entera porque un compañero
Just
tuyo
puts
se ha
down the
suicidado.
scope at the exact
En plan,
wrong
que
time.
sin querer, obviamente.
3v3
Amo, me
Mark is going to be
respalda siempre,
responsible for
siempre.
the cross. Saturn
Yo
still
siempre
up top of the
respaldo.
broken building will also be helping out. So Marky will change his angle, putting pressure onto both sides simultaneously. It's just Turu, the only one with an automatic rifle. Actually, looks like Marky does have a secondary swap, so...
6-0, luego 6-1, luego 6-3, qué bueno que no te dedicas a leer el futuro, menos mal. Menos mal, yo para leer el futuro como que no, ¿eh?
Shots are coming through, but none of them tagging. The bomb does get planted successfully. More importantly, Machinist J stays alive on the exit. It's all about now the retake for Nova. Can they break through this post-plant setup?
It's possible they were actually able to do that, as Machinist J is gonna be there for that defense, and you know what? It's really, really good right now for the team
No
of
das una,
Nova,
no, la
because they
verdad
are
es que no,
entering in
gente, a
as
ver.
a team.
Tío, me encantaría hacer algún día tipo predicciones de vuestro futuro. Tipo, yo que sé, que alguien... Uy, el genius este, ¿no? Que se cree.
I was about to say, I mean, so here's the
qué
setup.
pena. Pues nada,
This is-
gente,
I actually
6-2,
really like
6-2.
the setup here for
Esto va a ser
Aphelion.
un
They keep
6-2.
one member trying to contest those back stores.
Ay, pues
but
a mí
you've
me
got
gusta
one
más
player
el de
pushed
Navidad.
up
A mí
deep in through
el
middle to
DLQ de
watch an
Navidad
angle
es
to see
de,
who
de
gets
las
onto the
armas con
bomb, and then
mejores
Warvac to stay
animación
safe in the
de
back,
apuntado.
clutching up
Me
from a very
encanta.
clutchable spot with the sniper rifle to watch over where the bomb had been planted for. So good stuff, realistically,
me
from
encanta.
Aphelion. They do exit the first half from their offensive side with 2 rounds, but you're still going to be going
Pues eso,
back
que
to
quiero
that
hacer
fourth round,
como
saying
una
it should have
sección
been
que sea
a round for
predeciros el
Aphelion.
futuro.
We'll see if it
Y
comes
vosotros
in to be a
decidís si
difference in
queréis
the
que sea en
overall
el
score. We
amor,
swap
en la
the sides.
familia,
Karma
en
has
los
found first
estudios,
blood. That's Genius,
algo
who's been a
así.
problem all really
¿Sabes?
map long.
Yo creo que puede
for
ser
Nova that falls.
divertido.
Aether getting aggressive in the defense.
Más que nada
Collapsed through
porque
2. And now the defense, a favorable 4v3
no voy a
situation.
tener ni idea.
Now this is looking very, very
Pues al
dire
igual.
right now, actually, for Nova, and the rotation really wasn't that tight. And the bomb is going to be going down. It is a 1v3 situation. It's not looking good, but Mark
Pero
is
el arma
the
que muestra
only
tus
one to
kills no es
actually
un
be able
arma,
to
¿no?
get
Es
this.
como
I think it's very
algo que
possible
tú les
knowing
puedes
that the
añadir.
members right now
Porque
of
lo he visto
Aphelion
en
are
muchas,
pretty
en
spread
muchas
out, so
armas.
he might be
Como
actually
un
able to
accesorio.
clutch this one down.
Yeah, he's seen Machinist J for sure, and there should be information that goes that was playing over through A. QXR has been collected, so another tool in the shed for him to use, potentially clutch this
Because
up.
you're
The
trying.
big question with so much time on the clock, though, is
A
do
ver
you
el
want to play for
Marky
the
que
plant
hace.
initially,
A
or
ver
do
el
you
Marky
want
que
to
está
try to
él
surf
solo.
out? maybe a little bit further down the map
Uno contra...
and see if you can find some of these defensive players.
Uno contra dos.
He's making a lot of noise right now. You have to feel like Machina Shea has heard at least some
Y
of
tiene
this.
uno por delante y otro por
Would be
detrás.
contesting from the split level just below him, and Marky will
tiene
go
detrás,
for
le
the
va a
plant.
matar.
The problem is, look at goes on the minimap,
Le va a
number 4,
matar.
all the way around the back. Marky going to be caught likely here just as he gets over through Ticket, or will he? He sneaks into the bottom floor,
¿Qué?
and this
En
should have been
plan-
heard from Goza, and it is.
Qué buena
Reads
voz,
it
lo hizo
beautifully,
muy
no
bien.
problem. The smoke was
Lo
also
hizo
there
muy
just to
bien.
put some pressure onto the bomb. And that will be
Parece
good
que
now
banearon
for
a Shia por
3-3 count.
transmitir la
Affiliate ties the game
Master.
up.
¿Qué dices?
I feel like the reason why Nova just keeps losing this one is the fact that they don't have control over 2F over here in Bravo. 2 rounds straight that Aphelion was able to clutch it up because they had one person up in that 2F,
No creo.
having all that sight in
No me
Bravo,
rayes.
and they're not just having a sight there, they're using it to their advantage, and 2 times
mucha
they
gente
had
retransmitiéndola,
essential kills in that 2F. So right now, Warback yet again
Como están
struggling
que
to
banear a
find all these
todos.
kills.
Does get a hit marker this time, and Saturn's just sneaks up top. That's a missed opportunity. Aether was the one responsible.
Qué bonita, ¿no? Esa es la Fennec Ascended con camuflaje de oro.
And the bomb's gonna be planted very quickly. That is
¿Por
a
qué lo
huge
banearon?
miscue.
Sí, deja de
It really is just the
retransmitir.
fact that Aether misses. Saturn's coming around the back. He
Ay,
also
no me
getting
digáis esas
punished.
cosas,
Genius has been scouted. Nowhere for him to go, but down in
¿Cómo que
Saturn.
deje de
3
retransmitir?
kills in the round, up to 10 and 3 overall.
Parca
in the
está
stats as Nova gets
retransmitiendo,
back
tío,
on the
y
board
a
and go up by
Eric,
1,
y
4-3 at the tally.
Guara.
A perfect run here
What?
by Nova, 5 men alive
Por
and well,
copyright
and really just
Activision.
treating that round as if it was a game of hardpoint
Em,
going into
me estáis
P1.
asustando.
He really went in there, parkoured in there, was able to actually get a frag. Surprisingly, I'm not quite sure why he wasn't heard. The footsteps would have been so loud, but he was just really just facing rear by the wall. But then here we go, just like that, it's a 4v2 situation.
It's first blood off of the SMRS again,
No
and
entiendo.
Aphelion just don't use that in hold. They try to continue to get aggressive, and Nova getting across the
Vale,
street
dicen que
again
estaba
very
usando
safely. Take
VPN
advantage.
o algo así.
These miscues for Aphelion very well
Dicen
could
tipo
end
que
up
lo
costing
banearon
them
porque
this
está
map, as Nova's in a
usando...
really solid spot for this 4v2 post plant. Genius having
No
to work with
sé, no
Warback.
sé.
Try to open things up, and Warback is still trying to use this.
Vale,
sniper
dice, lo
rifle.
banearon
And I
ya
say
que
those
estaba
words
conectado a una
selectively
red que no
because
era
he's not using
él
it with
y
a lot of
estaba
efficiency
usando
at the
VPN
moment.
evadiendo así
So it's
tráficos
gonna be
de red
largely
para
up to
poder
Genius
conectarse al
find these
máster.
kills over through Cubby. Warback trying to assist, but you have to
No
watch
pasa
the
nada, no
cross.
pasa
That's
nada.
where Karma's position. He will find both the eliminations.
No hay problema.
And Nova now on map point.
Espera.
Warvac really just reloaded in the middle of
Claro, o
Dead
sea,
Man's
están
Land.
todos
He
retransmitiéndola.
really
Hola,
just
RC,
did
¿qué
that,
tal?
knowing very well that he could have been sniped. And this is like one of those important things that you know as a pro player is that if you are going to be going
Oye,
for that
sí,
reload,
me
at
vi.
least get cover. And he was
Qué
just
susto.
doing that in the middle of
6-3, al
everything.
final ya van a ser,
Gladly
así que va a ser
wasn't
el
able to get
6-3,
killed there,
¿eh?
but they were wiped out. Here we go. It's a very aggressive push here.
I like this though from Aether around the corner. Gonna find himself 3. The HS getting involved.
Vaya
and
triple
now
con la
it's just down to
escopeta.
Saturn.
Pero ¿y cómo le
Love
dejan que
that
haga
tempo
eso?
change, but it is still only a 1v2 situation.
Otra vez el
The
Saturn solo.
exchange of kills were
Pobrecillo.
not bad for Nova. Give
Aquí
Saturn
todo
a
legal, aquí
chance
todo
at
es
this.
legal, gente.
Should be
Aquí
able to
todo
hear
es
Aether
legal.
around his back. Bomb, of course.
Madre mía, el de la
dropped right on
escopeta,
top
tío,
of
pero ¿y
the
nadie
A
le
site.
vio?
Needs to be
¿O qué?
collected eventually, but there's still so much time on the clock.
Ya ni creo
Saturn
las
can play this
predicciones de
realistically,
esos.
however the heck he wants.
Saturn really knows how to clutch things up, so it's very possible for him to actually win this for Nova. A lot of things can actually happen here. Knowing that you can see here, it's going to be a little bit of a split, but the pinch might come into play. Does find Aether. Here we
Vale,
go
ya se
here,
lleva
Ship. This
uno.
is the 1v1 situation that we didn't
Es
want
que es
to
muy
happen.
bueno el Saturn, tío.
And Goza does
No,
get the
no,
beat on
no lo he
Saturn.
visto.
Should win the
No lo he
gunfight and
visto.
does.
Lost that round, but it's not over yet.
Clutch coming through.
Ahí va.
It got a little scary though, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you should know that with all
Ahí
those kills being right
va.
over the top of the ace site. If you're a
Qué
Aphelion,
mala
the bomb should be
suerte.
down somewhere in that direction. I was a bit cautious to see both Aether and Goza just playing
F mi
very
predicción,
separated
F la
from one
predicción
another,
de
but
todos, yo
does
creo.
still
Yo
pan
creo
out
que nadie
Saturn.
dijo
An impressive map so
6-4,
far,
¿eh?
11-4, but cannot cap it off with a 1v2.
Yo creo que nadie dijo
Rockets being
6-4.
exchanged. Warback completely smoked
No lo
out through
recuerdo
mid-map,
yo.
not able to see anything. And that's, again, one of the big differences. We
A ver,
did
un
not
segundito,
see
gente, que tengo
Aphelion
mocos.
throwing those same smokes offensively. So Nova could be realistically anywhere. Aether tried to once again get aggressive, but does stay alive just narrowly, and Warvac, as those smokes dissipate, does find first blood in the Toru.
Finally, I see a trophy system go down. I feel like that was lacking here in the side of Aphelion, just really laying down all of these trophy systems. And in this tournament, you already know that the SMRS is but your Warback gets an important frag here. It is a 2v4 situation. Here we go. It's possible to go into round number 11 here.
Can you take care of Saturn's in this back position? He can clutch this up. Trying to finesse around the backside shops. Has anyone actually been able to see where Karma's positioned? He's watching the cross, but Goza does smack out one. Karma right over the top of the box, trying to hold some trigger discipline, but Warvac, what a round from him! I know I was coming off pretty critically on you, brother, but that's 3 huge kills for Warvac to send us to round 11, and the sides will swap once more.
Okay, now I'm scared for Aphelion because they weren't doing so hot a while ago in that defense, right? They weren't able to actually, for that attack. And
5-5, nadie ha dicho 6-5, eso sí que no lo ha dicho nadie.
They were struggling, and Warback just really needs to get that kill, and he does right now, shit.
Third time's the charm, but still capitalizes. That opens up this play towards B. Goes with the bomb. Looking for the security to say,
si pierden me como una pizza yo solo, si ganan también, ¿no?
Over the top finds a kill. Toru spamming through the wall, actually gets a hit marker, but cannot confirm. Bomb has been collected.
4-4.
And now an opportunity for Aphelion to reset if they want to. The problem is they're so committed towards B, they might just try to go square peg in the round hole here.
Parece que le ve, parece que le está viendo, tío, qué rayada.
Knowing that this is happening, and things will stay 4v4.
That God made
si
just everything off from Aphelion. This is what I've been saying. Throw down the trophy. Every time you are going to be positioning yourself for a long time, you need to do that. And I feel like Aphelion, this is their weakness. They've been getting around here. That nade kill, the SMRS kill. They didn't quite learn from their mistakes from the past rounds. But hopefully it's not going to be good for them as Saturn's going to kill.
Qué buena Saturn.
I was just about to say,
pues están jugando súper lentos,
hanging onto this angle. Nobody from the side of Nova has to challenge the bomb because Saturns can watch the cross, plus Karma holding a little bit closer up is also in a position to watch that cross.
Qué tensión.
So good placement from Nova. Genius up top finds one in response. 3v3 situation, and Genius gets away with the life. 25 seconds to play. Yaya right down low. He has foul in hand. Toru still holding on, and it's Machinist J to check the corner. Aphelion gonna get this plant up. Nobody can contest. It's a 2v3 situation. Retake required. Machinist J picking up the DL. An opportunity to try to watch this corner.
5-5.
But Saturn's
buena Saturn, ahí demostrando, díselo.
It's Aether up close, same position on the staircase. Genius on the cross. Saturn's has seen one. Looking for the angle. Spams through the wall, not gonna happen.
Buenísima Turu, buenísima Turu.
It's just
buenísima Turu.
20 seconds on the clock, the defuse still required. And Genius is
¡Qué buena! ¡Qué buena la que se acaban de hacer! ¡Qué buena la que se acaban de hacer!
Nova sneak away the round 11. And we might need to revisit that conversation about Aphelion dropping the 5v3 in round 4, possibly costing them the map.
Qué buena la que se acaban de hacer,
This close into winning a search and destroy, but
Ahí va, o sea, jugaron súper bien, súper bien. El Turu y el Saturn, tío. Yo dije 6-5, sí. Ahora todos dijimos 6-5, no hasta yo. Yo en vez de 6-0 quería decir 6-5, pero me confundí. Qué buena, tío, qué buena. Me puse nervioso también. Hola, Susi, yo vi tus vídeos y se me hacen demasiado buenos. Me hice un solo para verte. Hola, Alexito. Muchísimas gracias por pasarte aquí por mi directo. Espero que también te lo pases bien. Se los dije. No, ahora todo el mundo lo decía. Ahora todo el mundo lo decía. Ya sabéis, gente. Ya podéis comeros una pizza.
And there was really no smoke cover through the middle of the map, and there were a couple of missed opportunities to where realistically that first half should have been, and maybe even could have been, at best a 4-1 for Aphelion. It ends up being a 2-3, and I think that there are just a couple of situations where Aphelion, you just clean up some of those rotations, and they would be fine. Then you also go back to the fact that Goza in round 11 doesn't get the bomb plenty because there's no trophy system, and that is another instance where you're able to, as Nova, just wait for the plan to come through, watch the cross, and eventually just secure the numbers and the 2v1 in the end.
Now, this was the downfall of Aphelion, and you really just mentioned it. The trophy system. I don't know why, but I feel like it's just the most basic thing for a pro player to lay down a trophy when you are about to plant, or if you are holding down a certain hold here. You're not going to be able to actually have that fulfilling gunfight, knowing that you might get naded anytime, or, you know,
¿Quieres
SMRs,
saber tu
we've seen
futuro?
that through
Llama a
and through.
Susi. Ella no
And
lo
we can
adivinará,
already
pero
see
las
here
risas
we
no
are going to be
faltarán.
going into game number 4 here in Hardpoint
Bien por
Standout,
ahí
but
cuenta
at the
su
same
próxima
time, Nova
predicción
already
fallida.
is in this upward trajectory.
Ahora
I'm
toca
saying,
dominio
like,
Summit,
you know,
¿vale?
Domination
Ahora
Summit,
toca
it's gonna
dominio
be very
Summit.
hard for them.
Entonces, podría, a ver,
Domination, you know, again, just kind of speaking
os voy a
to
ser
Aphelion,
sincera,
we
gente.
needed to see them win the
Yo ahora mismo
2-3-5.
podría
Now it has
predecir
to be a reverse
exactamente
sweep,
cuántos puntos
in
va a
which we're
tener
gonna have to go
cada
through
equipo. O
a
sea,
standoff
por
hardpoint
ejemplo,
that
Nova
has been
150,
Nova's bread and butter when it
Aphelion
comes to their hardpoint overall. I mean, outside of what we
68.
just saw at
Pero
the yard,
como
we're
no
probably
quiero,
going to the
porque
conversation, a
no
little bit
quiero que
jelly
os
on that,
asustéis y que tengáis un
on
trauma
that
cuando
bread and
veáis
butter,
lo
but
buena que soy
regardless of that,
prediciendo,
you have to
vamos
take
a
a
hacer
really
que
strong stance
va a
here
ganar
for
Nova,
Aphelion
vale,
on the
es
summit
una predicción,
domination.
va a ganar
They're
Nova.
1-1 overall
Y
on Dom,
yo digo
but their
que,
one loss was the tragic.
que
It was a
los
close
de
game. I mean,
Aphelion
it
no
was
se van a
26-point
hacer,
game, in
van
the
a
end,
tener
whereas on the other
entre
front, yes, you're looking at 2-0 for Nova through
110
their first 2
y
weeks, but they were
120
tested
puntos.
pretty heavily versus XOXO,
¿Vale?
much more
Esa es mi
confident versus
predicción.
Fusion Z, but
¿Cuál es
I
la
don't know, it's one
vuestra?
of those things that this is a really tough map set for the reverse sweep to come through, but
¿Cuál es
regardless
la
of
vuestra?
the forward
No me
conversation,
fallen.
we have to exist in the present, and at least for now, Aphelion, nice job
Se dejaron
throwing the
empatar
high
para la
ground. They've got a
emoción
really good look at this
humildes.
B zone. They were unable to capture this flag on their
150,
initial
90.
attempt, but they should have a good second look.
La
try to
mía
get
es
two
90,
flags
100,
early.
150.
2F
Yo
really
digo que no
needs to
pasan
be
de
taken
100.
if you really want to get
Nova va a
hold of
sacar
both
nuke.
C and B as well. And right now they're doing such a good job, and it's going to be interesting how the boys of Aphelion really just go in for that push. But then, just as I said,
A ver,
that
a ver,
Nova
a ver,
is
a ver, a
going in
ver.
for that heavy
De
push.
momento-
Karma's going to be the only one there. Oh, but then the delay here by
De
Warback.
momento ahí van,
This is the spot that we need 3 guys over here.
Ojito
and
el
see if they can
Yajía.
actually pull through.
They're
¿Te
trying to delay the inevitable, it feels like it, as Aphelion do find a couple of
120
kills, they
días.
will stack. They will grab the B flag, and there's actually a little bit of pressure over towards A and C. Kind of the
Uy, el
spawn
Karma,
flip
qué bueno eres,
situation
Karma,
coming
qué
through.
bueno eres,
Aphelion
Karma,
coming
díselo,
out on
díselo,
top of it,
díselo
but
ahí.
Nova very
Ahí esa es
quick to
tuya,
recover.
Karma,
I was about to
captura.
say,
Cuida que te
but
viene uno,
spawn
Karma, eres
push,
buenísimo,
really
eres
not
un
fully
dios,
agree
Karma.
with. You had a really good
Qué
look at
buena,
just holding on
qué
to A and B,
buena.
or pardon me, C and B. Why not just hold
Qué
that
buena,
status and give
Karma.
yourself a
Vaya
lead?
sacada ahí
Now
del
all of a
Karma,
sudden,
chiquillo.
Nova
Si
have
es que es
gotten the middle of the
buenísimo, si
map
es que es más
completely
bueno
under
que nada,
control.
tío.
Karma's trying to contest
Mírale,
the back,
mírale,
and
mírale,
once he
mírale,
finds it,
mírale. Si es que de
oh,
verdad, si es que de
third.
verdad, es que es
Karma for
muy
free.
bueno,
Now
tío, es que es
potential
muy
to cut it into
bueno.
spawn trap,
Karma,
because he
tío.
finds the fourth.
Karma,
Machine
eres
goes
buenísimo.
out. Doesn't love the look of it as he holds on over towards
Madre mía,
the,
Karma,
forklift.
no
This
sé,
spree is a
deja
lot of
algo para los
essential, which
demás,
actually saves
deja
his
algo
life,
para
but
los
now all of a
demás.
sudden Nova
Qué
threatening
bueno eres.
capitalizing on a full triple tap.
What? Karma one-man team holding down A, absolutely denying the take here. Aphelion is struggling here, and you already
Qué
know
buena.
that if they lost that search and destroy,
Mírale,
their
mírale, ahí sigue
is gonna
reventando.
be going
Ahí
down, and
sigue
right now
reventando.
the spawn trap is ensuing right now. Karma still alive, surprisingly.
Two sentries.
Two sentries. Plus he has a death
Está
wish.
rodeado de Sentry Guns. No puede
I'm not
ser.
gonna lie. I'm usually a pretty positive person, Beef Mommy, just generally speaking
Y
in
le
life,
tiran
but
una granada.
I'm uninstalling everything if
Qué
I look
buena
at Karma
Karma,
with
tío.
2 sentry turrets and a death machine spawn trap.
Sinceramente,
I'm
vas a
out of
tener
that game
disgusting.
faster than you can say the word quit.
¡Qué
This is
buena!
not great news whatsoever. I mean, Aphelion was in such a good position off the break, but now it's just the Karma show.
Mírale,
It's
si es que
absolutely
sigue, si es
the
que
Karma
sigue,
show.
si es que sigue.
21 and 2.
Si es que
Triple
sigue, tío,
kills,
es que
just
eres
going
muy
off the
bueno,
spawn
Karma, tío.
kills. Could potentially
Madre
play
mía,
for a juke
madre
overall.
mía,
The game
madre
is the
mía.
75-18 first half.
Madre mía.
He was camping there, and you know what? Everyone says that camping is bad.
¿Os
No, that
imagináis
is
que se
the
saca una
reason why
nuke?
you'd want to camp, especially
¿Os
if you are going
imagináis?
in for that spawn trap. Karma has taken so many kills in that particular
¿Os
spot,
imagináis que se
and
saca
right
una
now,
nuke?
best believe he's going to be a little bit more careful because he is at a very, very high streak. You can already tell he has a hunter-killer drone yet again and a predator missile. Now it's going to be hard
Karma,
for him to actually go
demuestra.
in there for the aggression.
Enseña
But you
todo
know
lo
what?
que yo
It's
te he
gonna be
enseñado.
okay.
Demuéstralo
He's gonna be
ahí.
taking Bravo
Estás a
over
tiempo
himself.
de demostrarlo.
Yep, this is exactly right, Kyle and Shane.
Estás
Just
a
give me
tiempo.
Karma the rest of the way through until he at least falls. And then even still, he might just be able to watch it. I would be happy watching him respawn. Just seeing what happens.
Buenísima, Karma,
on his
buenísima. Ahí
death
demuestra,
animation,
demuestra,
if
Karma.
he even does. Another sentry turret. That's 3 thus far.
Qué
for
bueno
counting
eres,
at
qué
home.
bueno eres, Karma.
And now 22 and 2. And no flags have been captured. No one's captured a flag yet. I mean,
Es
C is
verdad.
currently in tow, but no one's been able to get this B zone as of yet. Finally, it will be Nova getting
Buah, tío,
involved,
está yendo
getting
por
themselves
nuke,
their second flag, but it's 86 to
Está
28.
yendo a por nuke.
12 kills straight for Karma. And he's actually going to realize that, yep,
Porque si
Aphelion
no, no
actually is
jugaría
spawning
tan-
over
tan
towards the
tranquilo.
opposite side. So now it's Yaya's turn apparently as he's 12 and 4, and
Mírale,
Aphelion
mírale.
are just getting
Mírale, está yendo a por
absolutely
nuke.
worked.
Enemy has Charlie.
Mind you, Summit
Te voy a decir
domination
una
is,
cosa, como se
is
saquen a
Nova's
nuke,
choice, and that's
vamos.
why it's really important for them to actually get this one again with the spawn trap. Karma does the same thing, and Aphelion is just having a hard time learning from their past mistakes.
No, Karma, cuidado que
And right
mueres,
now,
Karma, no
I
mueres.
feel like
Karma,
it's Karma's
Karma,
time to go
mucha
down.
gente,
No,
Karma.
it doesn't.
Vete, vete, Karma.
He gets rid of him, gets rid of Goza that actually had a death machine here ship.
This is
Estoy pasando
not
muy mal.
good. Not good. There is a split spawn situation coming through, so Karma will only have one more kill to potentially
Karma,
find, but
no!
he falls. You saw Saturn was
Karma,
just trying to allow
no!
Karma to get the kill, but it eludes them. Not going to make too much of a difference when it comes to the overall score.
Se ha
Another trip
quedado
cap
como
has
a
been
como
involved. And Karma
4-5.
off the spawn. This
Y
is
se ha
what we
salido
wanted, this is
uno
what
del
we
otro
asked
equipo, se ha
for.
salido
He
uno.
has put together an absolutely
No
mammoth
puede
game.
ser.
Saturn saying it looks like fun
Karma
to
era
get
nuke,
involved.
Karma era
They're actually
tuya.
just making everyone
Todos
spawn in front of
confiábamos
Karma,
en
trying to give
ti.
him as many kills as possible, but the nuke denied. Not going to make a difference though. Nova's
Se
gonna
quedó, sí, se
3-0
quedó a
this
casi
series.
nada,
No
se quedó a casi
chance here
nada,
for Aphelion to
tío.
come back in the game.
Madre mía, madre
What
mía.
a show, what a treat, and this is why we look good
A una
as
kill,
casters, is the
a
fact
una
that these
kill,
players are so
de
talented,
verdad,
especially with Karma.
a una
Like what
kill,
I've been saying
mentira.
since the start, the fact that he
A
can
una
clutch this
kill.
up, he's probably one of the most important players that Nova has recently just acquired.
No
So
puede
him being on
ser,
the
te lo
team and
juro,
really
te llegas a
having
sacar una nuke,
29,
Karma.
30, 31 kills is important for him.
Madre mía, qué paliza, qué
Wow.
paliza.
This is what I'm talking about. You know, we mentioned that, yeah, we're really focused on the teams that are flawless
Qué
through the first
paliza,
2
qué
weeks at
increíble,
2-0,
qué
but
partidaza.
this Nova team put up a heck of a fight versus XOXO. Big map 5. They're one
Hola,
of our squads
Turquito,
now
¿qué tal?
improving to 2-1 that you need to keep your eye out for.
Karma, mira el clip que hice, no sé cómo se mira, pero
Karma
míralo. Era
definitely
ganarles,
gave
no
them that karma in
humillarles.
that last map, folks. You couldn't even see it on a feed. They all left the game. They couldn't even be there no
Es
more.
que es eso,
They couldn't
todos se
even finish
salieron.
out the
Tío,
map
pero
in
qué
the end.
necesidad de salirte, tío, en plan.
3-0 victory there. Wow, wow, wow. What
Sí,
a,
todo el mundo
what a
diciendo
series,
que-
folks. So we
que
go
falló la
back to it,
nuke.
and I go towards the search and destroy chef. Warvac did everything he
Buah,
could for a
ojalá,
squad
te
to
lo
get
juro,
them
llegas a
towards that
sacarles una
round
nuke.
11. Then they have a 3v2,
Llegas
bombs
a sacarle
planted,
una
everything
nuke,
looking
Karma, te lo
good.
juro.
But then Saturn took a shot, a quick peek from space, got the pick, and from
Increíble.
there it all came downhill.
Es que es eso, no deberían de salirse,
that
tío, en
search and
plan.
destroy, those last few
Es que,
rounds
se salió
really
por
told
culpa
the
de
tale of this
Karma.
tape, and that was the probably the dagger
Increíble.
in the heart of Aphelion.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it a number of times, but for Aphelion to win this series, they needed to take the 2-3-5, and there were, I would say, more mistakes that kind of
Increíble,
cost them the map
increíble.
actually earlier on when they were on the offensive half, where they realistically could have been a 3-2 half, if not
Pero
a
no deberían de
4-1
haberse
half.
salido.
Then you
Yeah.
win the surge, but the problem is they just got smoked in the
Karma
domination.
debes
I don't
estar
know if winning the
history.
second map would have made much
Ah,
of a difference,
el Karma
because we would have
hablando,
still had
tío.
a hard point coming up next, which is
Yeah.
or rather it has been Aphelion's worst map, mode rather overall through Masters so far. So as much as I would like to say Aphelion had a realistic
Yo jugaba
fighting
así,
chance
pero
in
me
the
voy
series,
de
I don't know
McDonald's.
if I could really hang my hat on that point because Nova was just too good in the respawn today.
Yeah, they were really on fire, folks. Okay, let's give a big congratulations to Nova out there for coming away with this series 3-0.
Qué buena.
But folks, as you see on your screen, we have one more series left for the day. It is XOXO versus
Only
Vivi
one for the
Gracia, and I cannot be more excited. Both these squads are at 2-0, and one of them will have to take
Qué
a
buena,
loss
qué
here
buena,
very
eh.
soon.
Vale, ahora va a jugar
Bonnie,
Shosho.
it's going to be a crazy series,
Ahora va a
don't you
jugar
think?
Shosho.
Yeah, absolutely. And we already know that XOXO has been doing well, but at the same
Voy
time, if you
rápida
take
por
a
la
look
cena,
from
¿vale,
their past
gente?
weeks,
Vengo
they've
rápido.
been doing,
Un momentito.
at the
¿Me dejo
very
esto
least,
también?
just really, really good, but really going into those game number 5s, which you don't want to be in, especially at a team versus Viva Gracia. Now, Viva Gracia has been going really, really well so far. They did go into a round number 4 once, but then before that, it's just basically a sweep. So it's going to be a very interesting matchup for our next round.
All right, folks, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will have the conclusion of our European Masters series with our last series of the day. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll catch you right after this.
¡Ali! Ya estoy, gente, perdón. Perdón. Ay, pero es que os he quitado esto. Lo siento. Ah, bueno, está en la lista de espera. Bueno, quedan 3 minutos. Me da un poco de vergüenza comer en directo, pero bueno. Vaya pijama, no es pijama. En este torneo de equipos NA es primero clasificatorias de NA, luego de EU y luego les juntan, me parece. Si no me equivoco. Mira el karma, qué buena, tío. Ay, es que, tío, me ha dado mucha rabia. Te lo juro, me ha dolido como si me hubieran quitado la nuke a mí. ¿Has hecho clip de algo mayor? A ver. Me voy a llevar mana. Quédate con quien te apoye.
They will grab the B flag, and there's actually a little bit of pressure over towards A and C. Kind of the
Uy, el karma, qué bueno eres, karma, qué bueno eres, karma. Díselo, ahí. Ahí, esa es tuya, karma, captura. Cuida que te viene uno, karma, eres buenísimo, eres un dios, karma. Qué buena, qué buena. Qué buena, karma. Vaya sacada ahí del karma, chiquillo. Si es que es buenísimo, si es que es más bueno que nada, tío. Mírale. Si es que de verdad, es que es muy bueno, tío, es que es muy bueno. Karma, tío, karma, eres buenísimo. Madre mía, karma, no sé, deja algo para los demás. ¡Qué bueno eres! Y luego él me insulta. Luego él se mete conmigo. O sea, para que veáis cómo son las cosas. Yo ahí apoyándole, diciendo que es buenísimo. Y él metiéndose siempre conmigo. Yo le enseñé a jugar al karma, yo también le enseñé. ¿Queréis ver mi cena, gente? Esta es mi cena. Hola, Jin, Anje. Qué asco. Pero bueno, no pasa nada. No antojes. ¡Oh! ¡Karma! ¡500 rosas! ¡Pero karma! ¡Mentira! ¡Oh! ¡Karma! Tío, eres imbécil. ¿Qué haces? Gracias, karma, pero es que no tenías que donarme, tío. No tengo tetas, no puedes donarme.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty Mobile Master Series.
Es que sabéis que dice karma que como no tengo tetas, que no me dona. Dietas sí, pero para engordar.
We just got done watching 2 series already, but we have one more left for the day. It's Viva Gracia versus XOXO. Mommy, break down this map cycle for me.
Oh yes, you finally got it right. Viva Gracia. I love how you roll your R's there.
Que me pague la operación. Y así me dona. Que me puedo descargar el clip.
XOXO seems to really love this, and it is their pick. And against Oxygen in week number 2, they did an absolutely dominating round, 150-23. So best believe that XOXO will really try to get this win. But at the same time, Viva Gracia really does well in hard as well. They were able to actually win that against outsiders. But at the same time, it is the absolute map right now for XOXO. So Viva Gracia better look out.
Yeah, and this is gonna be our first time we get a chance to see Viva Gracia because we've seen XOXO a few times in broadcasts already, and they have really put on a show for us and the fans out there. So I'm curious to see how their opponents are going to be playing for the day. Schiff, what will be your opinion here on this map cycle? Which map we should be paying attention to mostly when it comes down to the first three of this series? And with that being said, casters, take it away.
Thanks so much, Blaze. Yeah, that firing range Search and Destroy is going to be interesting because both teams actually really enjoy playing on it. So that'll be interesting once we get there. But as we jump into the raid hardpoint, it is XOXO spawning from the favorite side, most proximal towards what eventually will be the second hardpoint in Feints. Heck of a start here. PB19 able to find a couple of kills, one up close, one at range, and that will be enough for XOXO to find some favor early on here in the first kill.
Oh yes, we already know that XOXO really does a good job, especially here in P1. They absolutely dominated in their game from the last match, and they were able to actually get all these points. Balance is going to have that power position. It was really, really good. They really need to have to really hold down all these points, and right now we have... I don't know. I'm not quite sure if they actually know where to really spawn out here. I'm quite surprised right now that they weren't actually able to get all these power positions. I know they're trying to get laundry, but they're really just waiting here. And right now, it's going to be 15 seconds left on the clock, and the rotation needs to be made.
¿Has visto que me he quedado a una de la nuke?
¿Pero era una? ¿Por qué has matado con rachas? Tío, es una putada, te lo juro. Estábamos todos, todo el chat de YouTube, de Trovo, de todos lados, esperando que se sacara esa nuke.
Pero escúchame, que yo estaba chill, ¿sabes?
¿Qué?
Estaba chill todas las kills. Veo que me falta una kill y me tiembla todo, pero hasta las piernas me han temblado.
Fíjate,
una kill, Susi.
A mí me tiembla todo.
Es que he fallado.
Que
en plan que no había fallado ni una bala en todas las kills que me he hecho. En la última kill he fallado como unas 10 balas.
Tío, y se estaban saliendo,
Ya, es que normal, me queda una de la nuke.
Tienes mucho eco, Karma.
Ya, porque mi habitación está vacía. ¿Y ahora?
¿Ahora cómo se me escucha? ¿Se me escucha bien? Vale, perfecto.
Yo creo que estás en el baño cagando,
No, estoy en mi habitación.
No pasa nada, que si estás cagando no
me
pasa
pongo
nada.
la cámara, tío, mira.
Tío, que todos cagamos, Karma.
Mira, estoy en mi habitación, que estoy en mi puta habitación, tío, mira, la cámara. Mira, estoy viendo aquí tu directo.
Que ya está, Karma, que ya está, que no pasa nada.
Mira tu puto directo, tío.
Voy a decir una cosa, yo también cago, gente, tengo que decirlo, yo también cago.
¿Estás viendo mi pantalla? Estoy aquí cagando, mira.
Sí, está cagando, está
¿Te
cagando.
enseña la mierda? ¿Es que te enseña la mierda?
Confirmo, gente, está cagando.
Es que... Qué imbécil. Qué rabia, tío.
¿Cuáles son las sensaciones después del partido?
Que me acaba de quedar a una de las nuke.
Pero, ¿y qué sientes?
¿Qué siento?
Felicidad,
Rabia. No, rabia, ahora mismo rabia. Me da igual ganar. Me da igual ganar, la verdad.
Que preferías haber perdido la Masters a haber fallado esa nuke.
No, tampoco. Si me saco nuke, obviamente es que vamos ganando.
Ya, bueno, algo no. ¿O no?
Quiero llorar, Susi.
A ver, yo creo que...
Es que imagínate en un torneo de $50.000.
A ver, el bonus también se sacó una nuke,
Sí, pero ellos sí que eran malos.
Ya, bueno.
No me compares.
Pero en plan, ¿por qué se han salido los otros? ¿Por qué iban la...
No, porque me queda una de las nuke que iban racha. No habían muerto.
¿Pero qué pasa? ¿Que la gente no ha visto toda la partida? Como para que se tengan que salir.
Has saltado la notificación de la izquierda. ¿Sabes que te salta cuando alguien va racha? Te salta uno de 20. Pues normal que abandonen. Han abandonado cuando salta el de 20.
Claro, porque llevaba racha de 20 pero usando rachas y cosas.
Sí. Por eso que me he quedado una. Iba 27-0 con rachas. 27-0. Había matado a 7 con rachas y con especialista.
Madre mía, Karma.
Me faltaba una kill, la última kill. El que me ha matado era el de la nuke.
Te voy a decir una cosa, ¿vale? Me ha dolido más que no te sacaras la nuke que Fer me nukeara a mí en directo. Me ha dolido más.
Here's the thing, once we get to the point, we had a little bit of a teaser of it with Tragic playing up against Stamina in match number one rather. When you get to this top level interactions, the one moment that really speaks a lot, I think, to
Pregunta uno, pero no puedes soltar la nuke en la master, ¿verdad?
Sí que puedo.
After they lost the off the break setup for the first hardpoint, they never got set up to hit something again. It was a couple of players that wanted to try to put spawns run by playing through mid-map, but it wasn't collective, so they didn't actually find success doing that. And then they kind of send a couple of members late to hit their drive with try to contest the hardpoint time, but at that point, it's too late. I mean, you're able to contest the back 15, 20 seconds or so, but you don't convince them. And because XOXO now have a full setup for P2, that means that they can essentially just hold the defense positions that they want, start building up more kill sprees. That leads to score streaks, leads to operators, and at that point, the game's over through 2
No lo voy a superar nunca.
Yes, absolutely. I feel like they should have just pushed through Kitchen in a P2. All of those kills to get score streaks, to get an advantage off of your opponent. We weren't able to actually see that, but then now we are heading on over to Search and Destroy in firing range. Now, this is very, very interesting because both of these teams have been doing so well in Search and Destroy so far, but at the same time, you already know that XOXO may be a little bit dominant here, just by a little, but they did lose against Oxygen Esports. I'm really, really looking forward to what I'm going to be seeing here.
And it was around 11 versus Nova.
Sí, peruano. ¿Qué comes, huevo?
Seen anything less than around 10. Which on the other side, for Viva Gracia, they've been much better here through the Surge. So again, situations that you need to start off hot on the Surge, and what better a way than for a quick scope right through mid for first blood.
Y más mira, me temblaba las manos, los brazos, las piernas.
Tío, es que... ¿Pero y cómo ha sido que te han matado?
Porque he fallado el cargador entero, Susi. Imagínate un cargador de la Bison, fallarlo entero.
¿Contra uno?
Sí, el último. Y le veía todo, en plan, yo tenía medio headlitch y él no. No ha matado. No ha matado. Si es que de hecho está puesto, ¿no? Míralo. Míralo en el directo que tienes puesto. Sí. Trásalo hasta la última kill.
How down.
A ver, vamos a ver la repetición de Karma fallando. A ver, si un poquito más para acá. Mira, aquí estás.
Not good. There is a split spawn situation coming through, so Karma will only have one more kill.
¡Hostias, Marcos!
No, he falls. You saw Saturday was in the back, just trying to allow Karma to get the kill.
Marcos, es verdad, sí que lo había visto.
Not good.
Ahí va. Encima tenías todo el headlitch, tenías toda la ventaja. Qué putada.
Because from what I've seen, Lydiax has been doing plays and really just becoming the last player usually, but at the same time.
¿Estás?
You've even got number 4 of Faden.
Le estoy contando a mi madre que me queda uno de la noque. Mi madre es mi fan. Hay que ser un
Salúdala de mi parte. Salúdala de mi parte.
Le estaba contando a mi madre que me queda una de la noque.
Se fue a llorar a contárselo a su mamá.
Playing off of a pixel peak between the boards.
¿Lo viste?
Sí, lo hemos repetido aquí.
Ah, no lo he visto.
Was just a little bit too nasty here.
No
a
se
little bit
preocupe,
too
lo vuelvo a
juicy
poner.
for a lot of us here to handle. But at the same time here, XOXO.
Mira, míralo.
Another trip cap has been involved. Not gonna make too much of an impact.
A ver.
Trying to allow but no.
Así. Es que tengo, vamos.
This is
Get rid of him. Get rid of Golden that actually had a death machine here, Shiv.
This is not good. Not good.
Ay.
Spawn situation coming through, so Karma will only
Mira
have
eso.
one more kill to potentially find.
Mira eso.
Oh, he falls. You saw Saturday was in the back, just trying to allow.
Dios santo. Ya está. Adiós.
Es que encima te han apuntado.
No puedo.
Estaba todo el mundo viendo cómo estabas a punto de sacarte una nuke.
Por eso.
Todo el mundo estaba a punto de verte sacar una nuke.
They're trying to clear out this inside a trailer, and Lydia will do that as well. Sam on top the bomb finds one. Is that going to be good enough?
Es que, tío, es que le he fallado mi última kill para la nuke.
Gonna be missed. Dicey moving forward, but Faints secures the shot. And that will get them the elimination needed for a free defuse.
Bueno, no pasa nada, ¿vale?
My goodness, for a second there I thought XOXO was going down the drain, but no, Lydia was actually
Es que, ¿has visto en plan las otras que eran las más difíciles? No fue ni una bala.
Te has hecho
En la más fácil. Escúchame, la más fácil. La última kill estaba temblando, es que normal, estaba temblando.
Pero es
que solo en la última kill.
Antes de esa te habías hecho una doble muy buena.
Ya, por eso, en plan, que era la última kill. Cuando me faltaba una kill me he puesto nervioso. Estaba jugando súper, en plan, relajado, ¿sabes? Normal. Un juego siempre. Bueno, me he llevado 2 MVPs hoy, ¿eh?
Dice el Balut, eso no le hubiera pasado a Luke. A Luke, él sí se saca Luke.
Es que es la última kill, la última kill. La última. En un torneo de 50k donde en teoría son todos pros.
Te lo juro, ibas a ser Dios. Pero bueno, no pasa nada. Ya algún día lo superarás, igual que yo superé lo de Fer.
Voy a subir el clip de que fallé 1000 balas.
Sube mi clip animándote.
He just basically annihilated everyone, just trying to stop the play that they were trying to go for. And XOXO is in shambles right now. You can see all of these teams just really having that spread out feature, really just positions where they can see everything and not really going in there. Oh, you can see here, the plant is going to be going in.
Uy, el Karma, qué bueno eres, Karma, qué bueno eres, Karma. Aún así eres un dios para muchos. Y ya no va a jugar, no, ya se acabó. Ya ganaron ellos 3-0.
Es que no te creo, tío, ¿por qué? Sí, ¿por qué?
And the bomb for 3Jik has been collected and now being planted. But in Cubby, Faints gets the better of Dicey, just spamming through the walls, finds the kill. Now a 1v1. And 3Jik just has this.
Yo es que no puedo tener tan mala suerte, tío. Es que tú has visto lo que he fallado.
Sí, lo he visto. Sí, gente, podéis seguir a Karma como Karma KXRMAEU. Pero no tiene Facebook. En YouTube o en Trovo. En Trovo hace directos, gente.
Bueno, no haré hasta acabar la Master, que acaba en agosto.
La Master acaba en agosto.
Sí. El 1 de agosto acaba.
Yo pensaba que acababa antes de la Champs.
Es que acaba antes de la Champs, sí.
Ah, bueno, pero antes de la fase 2.
Sabes que si ganas la Master vas para la fase 4 o la 5, es la fase 5 de hecho.
Para LAN.
La Master es como si fuera la fase 4. Sí, para LAN.
Aparece como el
Well, it's going to
fallaluques.
be very hard right now for PRIVADAS to actually go in there and really go for the kill because the bomb is going to be going down. And right now, Balance really proving to be such an amazing force to be reckoned with.
A una kill, tío. Es que aún no me lo creo, tío. Aún no me lo creo. Aún no me lo creo,
Balance
tío.
and Lydia now trying to clear out bottom wood, saying we don't care that you have to plant the bomb. We just want to take you off the map right now. Goliath, last player left alive. 1v4 situation.
Aún no me lo creo.
No pasa nada, solamente te lo voy a recordar todavía, ¿vale?
Wolfpack situation. All 3 members that believe they
Aún
have
no
access
me
to
lo
the bomb here
creo.
back alley.
Eso sí.
Goliath gonna get what should be one for
Y
free.
que no sabéis la rabia que me ha dado, cuando me han matado. Me he puesto a decir, no.
¿Has grabado la partida?
He llorado. No, creo que no. Me va a lag. He grabado. No va como con delay.
in action, and now that is the worst way to go here in Call of Duty Mobile. I would feel absolutely disrespected if I were to be
Ojo,
that
tío,
player
la verdad es que en el baby yo no sé cómo se metieron tantos puntos,
how confident they are.
Es que nunca jugamos BD nosotros. Y llegamos al BD pues que no sabemos qué hacer, pero que hemos ganado, es lo que importa. ¿Sabes? Para nosotros cuando entrenamos Scream solo jugamos o Hardpoint o Mini. Sí, ya mejoró Billy, pero nosotros jugamos un servidor privado y aquí el internet que tengas da igual, porque es que te matan de una bala igualmente. Bueno, y matan de una bala. Puro aim.
Feints will convert, but things will quiet down at the minute 13.
Tú llegas a estar en este server, Susi, madre mía, estarías llorando. Joder, a mí no me entran las balas y a mí me matan de una bala. En este servidor los de estamina están muy fuertes y nos han follado. Nos han ganado sin mapa. Sin mapas que hemos jugado nos han ganado sin mapa. Hey. Están fuertes. Pero bueno, es lo que digo yo, son scrims. Igualmente, contra Oxygen hemos perdido scrims, ¿sabes? En plan, un par de mapas y después llegamos al torneo 4-0, pero los metimos.
Eso fue la purge, ¿no?
Sí, por eso digo que son scrims. Scrims me da igual perder. Está para aprender, ¿sabes? Si pierdes, mejor.
Para que se confíen.
No, no, en plan, si pierdes, mejor. Si pierdes es que hay cosas que mejorar, ¿sabes?
Ya, bueno, pero si pierdes antes de un torneo y ves que hay cosas que mejorar, igual no es hora.
Ya, pero las screens antes de un torneo es para calentar, no para mejorar cosas.
No, que sí.
Y menos en este servidor.
Tío, los de Chocho están muy fuertes,
Hoy les hemos fallado.
Sam just went into the trap
No nos han dado ni un mapa.
knowing that he didn't have enough time. Sam should have just stayed in there. He couldn't have enough time. Their fate knew very well that he was gonna have to go in
No,
there
contra
with his
Kings.
hat for that fake plan.
Vosotros
At the
no.
same time, maybe it wasn't even fake, but at the same time, he was at the advantage of knowing that he had that gunfight and he was able to utilize. Now this is so smart. That's why I love Fate as a pro player, just because of his map awareness and all of his IQ plays that he's been doing here so far. An amazing response, and right now VG is going to be looking like they're having a hard time.
Que me quedo aquí, pero me voy a dejar el micro para que no se escuche. Si no está en una SMR aquí, no quiero. No. Como tus audios, ¿no?
¿Te ha gustado?
No.
Yo sé que sí.
Es que eso sí me manda audios tirándose pedos.
Mentira,
y eso,
mentira.
y qué asco me ha dado hoy.
Mentira, es mentira.
Se ha tirado un pedo, pero con...
Que te calles, que es mentira.
¿Mentira de qué? Lo pongo.
Estoy inventando. No lo pongas.
¿Lo ves? No es mentira.
Que es mentira, pero que no lo pongas.
Qué asco.
¿Cómo hacen para que se vean los jugadores detrás de las paredes? Eso es por el modo espectador. Pero que es mentira. Que es mentira. Ya ganó Karma así con David. Tío, que está mintiendo. Está mintiendo.
Oh, Neil gets the kill onto Sam. Friedrich trying to respond, but XOXO is making their way forward. Wait for the long flank, you need to. It's Goliath along the back. Noxie trying to play their life into tires. Gonna be challenged from multiple angles. Finds one elimination, turns for maybe a second. Not going to have it. And now a 1v2. And no one has seen Goliath. Playing inside closet. The bomb is still in hand. Balance is looking to play for the plan. Goliath has read this beautifully, but he can't.
Madre mía, pero cómo falla eso. Pero cómo fallas eso, bro. Madre mía. Hasta Karma hubiera dado ese tiro.
He absolutely potatoed that shot, and Bravo, I don't know why he wasn't able to actually kill it. He didn't commit to that, sadly. I feel like it was just too much nerves on his end, and right now he needs to go for another rotation here again off of this Bravo flag, going into that A flag. That's going to be very, very different. Alpha is going to be a harder point to be clutching if you are into that 1 point. I feel like he should have just really committed to that Bravo, really went in there really more aggressively, and at the same time he's going to have a hard time. And he does go down here. We are at 6-2, and the winner for our search and destroy yet again.
¿Y cuándo vuelves a jugar, Marcos?
This was so close.
¿Contra quién?
La Master es cada lunes.
¿Contra?
No lo sé todo.
Bueno, pues deberías ir sabiéndolo, ¿eh?
Tío, es que qué asco, tío. Qué rabia me ha dado, tío, pegar tantas balas. ¿Qué cojones? No lo soy.
Big clutch ups. Faden, really good stuff. Lydia, awesome
Me
stuff
acabo
for
de
mid-map
quedar
as
a
well.
una
Everyone
kill de la
stepping to the
nuke
table
en
when it
el
matters the
Masters.
most. And XOXO just too much to deal with. Really not even needing Neil. I mean, yeah, Neil gets a handful of kills, but I remember when we were watching XOXO in the last couple of weeks, when it comes to the search, you feel like you really lean a lot on Neil to make a play. That was not at all required here because the rest of the team absolutely stepped to the table.
¿Es verdad que hay hackers?
Sí, los de Omniscient.
Pero es verdad.
You can already
Sí,
see
sí,
their
es verdad,
growth from week 1 and
¿Los
week
de
2.
qué equipo?
Even though we weren't able to actually see all that push through,
Sí,
we
Omniscient.
can see it now. Oh,
En el que
goodness.
está
That was
Renzo.
a really, really good snipe, by the way, by 3Jig. But then at the same time, he was the only
Ese
really making
equipo.
plays for his team.
Sí, pero
Unfortunately, when everyone is stepping up in your opponent's
A
side, you
ver,
really just
sube.
need to see
Ah, no,
and
ese no,
get
ese
all
no
of that.
es.
Sí, es este.
Unbelievable stuff from XOXO. And one of the reasons
Capo.
why
Ah, vale, sí, sí, son esos son los hackers. Mira el Honor. El Honor ese tiene un aimbot, pero un aimbot.
Tío, pero ¿y cómo se pone?
Que no se lo cree ni él.
¿Y se puede poner el aimbot incluso cuando les han dejado un servidor entero para ellos y todo?
Pues no lo sé si lo llevarán este servidor. Si te fijaste el otro día que justo cuando le sacaban partido streameado, no eran 5.
Es verdad.
Y estaban jugando las skins con 5.
Y ahora que sí que han jugado 5 sin cámara, revientan, ¿no? ¿Y no puede ser que sea Dios?
No, no lo es. Porque es un random, nadie conoce y de repente... Si ese pavo contra nosotros, cuando yo estaba en búnker, en un torneo nos hizo 73 kills o algo así, 76.
¿Él solo?
Sí, atravesando paredes y de todo, a través de las paredes.
Madre mía.
Que le ganamos igual, ¿sabes? 76 kills y le ganamos. Para el 76 y los de su equipo 13, 9 kills, ¿sabes? En plan, no tiene sentido.
No.
Si eres un equipo random, eres un random, juegas contra, bueno, de los mejores de U, ¿sabes? Y de repente eres Dios.
No tiene sentido.
Que tu equipo haga menos de 10 kills y tú te hagas 73, pues como que no.
Contexto,
No tiene buena
que
pinta.
dicen que hay un hacker en las champs, jugando las champs. Pues nada, gente, yo ya voy a cerrar directo. Me voy a ver Netflix. O no sé. Así que nada, vamos a hacerle raid. ¿A quién le podemos hacer raid? Al super, que el super necesitaba horas. Yo este mes no he llegado ni a las horas ni a los días. Me van a quitar el trabajo.
Yo a mí no me lo van a quitar.
Pero bueno, no pasa nada.
No me da igual.
Nos lo
no me
quitan
da igual.
juntos. Bueno, sí, porque tú, pues bueno, pero yo no me voy a llevar ni $5 este mes.
Ya cobro mi plus.
Mira, tú. Bueno, gente, pues nada, un placer haberos tenido por aquí. Mucha suerte en vuestro día de hoy, en la vida entera. Y nada, os quiero mucho. Chao. Chao.